Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is that time again. Pretty short week for us behind the mic, but for you guys, hey, it's a regular Tuesday. As always, don't worry about it. Just, every Tuesday we come out with a new show. And tonight we got another special guest for you. And we got an event right around the corner. If you're listening on the public release, you might be a week late. But for everyone who's not, we're going to talk about that coming up in just 3 or 4 days now. Coming pretty quickly here. So, boys, let's get into it. Our co-hosts for tonight, they're here as every single week. Brando, Baird, how you doing, man?
I'm good. It feels weird. Not you getting ready for this event this past weekend, but not going. It sucks. Not gonna be with the boys.
Welcome to my world. It's FOMO. Don't worry, you'll watch every moment of Go Sports in the live streams that Semi-Pro plays. Speaking of Semi-Pro, one of the players who will be out there playing for Sacramento DMG and one of our co-hosts on the show, Steven Hatch. How you doing, my man?
We're back. This is going to be really awkward with the hindsight, of all the information we talk about the field, and then it's going to be a week late for everybody else. So I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, fair enough. That's why we usually don't go too in-depth on layouts over here. But if maybe you're playing in the Sequel or another series that reuses the NXL layout, might be a good reason to listen up to some of the stuff later on in the show. But before we get into any of that, not only do we have our sponsors, but we also have a guest. So we're going to be talking to him first anyway, so don't you guys worry about it. There's a lot to go over tonight. But first, I got to remind you guys about Liquid IV, the superior hydration multiplier that we use on the show. Head over to liquidiv.com, get your information about their sugar-free product, the sugar product, the immune booster, the sleep support. They've got a whole bunch of different options over on their website, and mainly they all help you stay hydrated wherever you need it during your life. I really enjoy the firecracker flavor, the lemon lime, golden cherry, that's Brando's pick, the Concord grape, that's another great one. So there's a lot of great options over at liquidiv.com. Use promo code Mafia_Moffitt, save yourself 20% off and get free shipping at checkout. Next up, boys, we got NECTR Energy, something I'll probably have to throw in a little bit on this show, as it's been a long ass Monday. But NECTR Energy, the simple little energy pouch, looks similar to nicotine pouches, Zyn, something of that sort. But the big difference is there is no nicotine in this product or tobacco. It's just caffeine and a neurotropic. It's gonna get you boosted up, get your brain focused up at the task at hand, and yeah, we like it. We use it a lot over here on the show. It's great for when we gotta do the podcast. Hatch has got to do his 3-hour drive home after a long weekend of practicing. It's a great little product, and we recommend you guys go get some more information at nectar.energy, NECTR.energy. That's where you can go head over, get some more information, check out their flavors, use promo code MafiaProductions. It's going to get a buy 2 get 1 free, so throw 3 cans in your cart, try some flavors out, see which one you like, and come back for more. Shout out the boys over at NECTR Energy. We appreciate their support on the podcast. We also have Welts Clothing. Brandon, do the thing, get that fucking Giants hat out of here. Thank you. WeltsClothing.com, the premier apparel company based out of Texas. They do great things. Every first Wednesday of the month, they drop their limited edition Welts Wednesday drop, which last time it was only like 20 pieces. So if you weren't there right when it came out, you were missing out. It could be a jersey, could be a shirt, could be a strap, could be hats, could be, I don't know, anything that they want to drop. Welts Wednesday always comes out first Wednesday of the month. But they also have their regular selection of clothing and apparel that's available on their website, WeltsClothing.com. Head over there, use promo code FTS, save yourself 10% off at checkout, and go support a local Texas paintball company. Some good guys behind that. Scott Stewart from Paintball Fit over with those boys, doing some cool things for not only the apparel brand itself, but also just local paintball in Texas. So you love to see it. We appreciate your support over here, Welts, and go win some Welts, boys and girls. Guys, you ready to get on into our guest for tonight? I know Hatch is on the edge of his seat for this one.
I'm hyped.
Pre-show, before we let our guest in, he was telling me that when he was getting kind of started into paintball, a lot of people in his local area looked up to this person immensely, and kind of
for sure.
We're always on the scope out for when he was doing something or what he was working on. So Steven's probably gonna talk for most of this one, so don't look at me, boys.
First name, that was weird.
Yeah, fuck you, Hatch. I'm tired, bro. Also, by the way, I've literally only eaten First Form products today. Shout out to their level 1 protein and
That
level
sounds
1
great.
bars. Thank you, Jonah Jamrose. You're keeping us
Let's
alive
go.
over here. But without any further ado, guys, let's bring in our guest. Tonight, we've got none other than the man behind the camera, usually a capital Edge, except now he's put down the camera and picked up a marker. Our boy, Dufort Media, also, Michael's the first name, right? Another guy I've never called by his first name, but Dufort Media, that's what he goes by online. So, how you doing, buddy?
Great. Glad to be here. But yeah, it's I just go by Dufort because the paintball field I worked at, we had like 7 mics working there, so I just went by Dufort ever since.
That's why I go by Mafia, so very relatable. I got you there. But yeah, I thought it was Michael. It's one of those names just like Hatches with Steven, where you're like, I think it's that, but it just doesn't sound right.
Steven just sounds lame, bro. That name just sounds lame, if I'm being honest. So that's why I like my last name.
What is your name, by the way?
Whatever. That's why I can say that.
Okay. But
okay.
I thought you were gonna say doing something.
No, I got it. So
no, okay, go ahead, Ed. Yeah, brother.
Here we go. Okay, so one thing that Ryan was touching on was, without a doubt, when I was younger, like, I remember the videos you were posting when one of the reasons why I got into paintball, no joke. I remember watching the excessive tryouts when they were wearing those green JT jerseys, dude. I stumbled across that video and I was like, dude, what is this Pro Paintball? Because I saw like the other slow motion paintball videos of, like, you know, the cheesy ones of like the Europe one where they're shooting like 15 BPS. Sick, by the way. But that one was way more close to home because it was a pro team. So tell me about that. Tell me about how you got into recording and how you just got into paintball in general.
So it's actually a pretty funny story. One weekend I couldn't afford to go play paintball because as a kid I would ref at the field to, you know, be able to play, you know, like most fields did back in the day. But this one weekend I either didn't have what we called ref cards back in the day, or I didn't have money. So I wanted to go hang out at the field, but I didn't really have a lot of friends at this time because it was right when I was getting into it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a camera, go out there and just record some videos. Because as a kid, you know, when you're getting into paintball, you sometimes you don't want to ask the questions of, hey, what should I be doing? How should I be playing paintball, you know? Especially when you're getting into it. So I really wanted to watch videos of just people playing paintball. Just raw video of people playing the game and, you know, a way for somebody to watch and go, okay, this is how they play the game, you know, because you only get so much from watching like a montage or like a documentary, you know, like I want to see what this guy did to get from one part of the field to the other and how he got there, you know. That is what's interesting to me, is the whole play rather than just like the little tidbits of it.
Okay, you said you first started reffing at a paintball tournament.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Yeah. So
how did that come about?
So our local field back in the day would do this thing where like you could ref for a day and you basically got free entry and a case of paint for the next day. So basically you worked a day and then you got to play for a day. And, you know, eventually my parents were like, I'm not going to spend all this money for you to go every weekend. Like, you're going to have to figure it out. And like, that was me figuring it out, was going and reffing there on Saturdays and then playing on Sundays. That's typically what I did in the first, I would say 6 or 7 years until I got hired at the facility, you know, but yeah, did that for a long time. I probably played about a year before I, like, you know, swindled my way into there and got a job, you know.
Okay, that's cool.
Wanted to play as much paintball as possible.
Absolutely. I mean, I came from the guy who was sacrificing lunch money to get a case of paint on the weekend, you know, so I completely understand. That is so interesting. So the raw footage, I think that is a great concept of, in the way that, I mean, I'm the kind of guy where we watch raw footage all the time. Even when I got bumped up to semi-pro and when you were posting the CPL videos, I was still watching that because that's still a way to study from, right? Any kind of division can teach you anything. That's one thing that I, without a doubt, have learned from your videos. What is your most favorite video you've ever filmed?
Oh, that's a hard one. Favorite video I probably ever filmed, it has to be a mix of like a lot of like my old videos I did, like all of like, I would say like my Facebook era videos where I was posting a lot of like music videos to Facebook and that sort of thing. Those were my favorite, but my beyond favorite like raw footage video I've ever filmed and like my favorite ever was definitely when Excessive won the COVID WC Cup. Like I think it was 2020 or 2021. I think it might have been the end of 2020. Because I remember it was the first time that squad won an event, and to just see the look on all those dudes' faces when they won that event meant a lot to me, because I know how much work they put into it. Because at that time, I was filming Excessive every single weekend, and I did that out of love. They didn't pay me a dime. Like, those dudes are my homies, and I was just there for them, the whole time. And to see it, like, all this hard work and then they win, it was like I won. Personally, that's what it felt like to me.
Dude, Ryan, that reminds me a ton of when you filmed DMG with when they went to Cup and you saw those guys win.
I mean, yes and no. It's probably a little more personal for Dewey. I kind of just got lucky by like placing, right place, right time. Because I had zero clue that DMG won 4 events before I went and filmed them. Like,
okay,
it just was, I literally serendipitously went out there and Thomas Kim is shooting the shit out of people. I'm like, oh, cool, I want to go film these guys. And then they do win, and yeah, everything that happens. But yeah, no, it definitely is personal when you see the boys win, especially when it's a team like, I mean, that was, fuck, dude, that was all I wanted for Rebirth. And maybe not even a win. I just wanted a Sunday, bro. Like, I wanted some type of good feeling for those guys instead of just agony and misery,
Heartbreak.
Which is what that season was.
Absolutely. Who was on that roster, Dufort, that you filmed?
I could probably name almost all of them. I know Jerry Caro.
Let's hear it.
Jerry Caro guested with them that event. And then, of course, you got Matt Ortiz. That's one of the main reasons I followed that. That dude and his dad.
I love that guy.
That dude and his dad taught me how to play paintball. Like, I know most of what I know from Matt Ortiz and his dad. Like, I got probably them to thank most, to be honest. So Matt Ortiz, Jack Robinson, Chase, Alex, Archie Barnes. Archie Barnes played on that squad. I also won my first event with Archie Barnes. And then
sick.
Who else we've mentioned so far?
Who else was on that roster?
They're
gonna kill me. Lopes was obviously on the roster. Stephen Lopes was on the roster. Charles Davis.
Charles was
Davis.
Dude. Charles fucking pub stomped me and my friends at like one of the first fields I ever went to at Shooters. Him and Rex showed up out of nowhere with LV 1.2s or something and was like shitting on us. I'll never forget that. That's the first time I ever met like a speedball player. I was like, what are these guys? What are they doing? Was Russell, is that his name? Is the tall guy?
Russell Kane was
Russell Kane, right?
He was not on the squad just yet, no.
I like that guy. That guy is a genuine, nice human being. He's a cool-ass guy.
One of the nicest dudes on the field. One of the nicest dudes on and off the field. I love that guy.
Absolutely, dude. Plus, he's got a dope-ass hairstyle, dude. The fucking braids look fucking sick.
Nothing but positivity. I love talking to Russ. It's always a good time seeing him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like this last event, dude. Like some of the Stoned Assassins guys came into the pit, and we were having like a really rough game, and like I was kind of getting a little heated, and Russ was like, "Hey, Dufort, it's okay, bro." Like, he's nothing but positive. Like, no matter
exactly
what, I love
too.
that dude. Yeah,
that was a great impression.
He's a great guy to have in your corner and a support system.
100%, bro. Like, to have that guy on your side, like, is so great. I love that guy.
Absolutely. Okay, and one thing I want to touch on real quick. So, you were mainly a media guy, and now you're playing a ton now.
Yeah.
Tell me about that transition.
So it's actually kind of funny how it happened. It's kind of a weird thing. Like, it wasn't even because of paintball, to be honest with you. That's the funny part about this whole story and why I'm playing now. It was basically what happened is one of my friends who I met through working at the local paintball store. His name is Q. He played for the Excessive program back in the day. Played a ton of airsoft. So he played competitive airsoft for years. What happened was I've always been talking like, I want to go try it. I want to try the speed soft thing. It looks fun. Like, the whole reason I started playing paintball to begin with is because our local airsoft field in Modesto closed down in 2009, and I had nothing else to do. So then I was like, all right, time to try this paintball thing, because my best friend was like, hey, let's do paintball. My uncle plays it. And like, wow. So then we did that. So I was like, I really want to try the speed soft thing. Like, I've played airsoft before. It's been years. So I went to go play airsoft with Q. He's all, you should play a tournament with us. And then I'm like, sure. So that team that he was on, it was Asylum. So we go to play with Asylum, and then that's how I met basically half of the dudes that are on Pink is from playing on Asylum. So basically we play a couple events, or we play a event, practice a lot, get to know these guys. And I'm like, dude, these guys are pretty sick. And then I'm like, obviously when I went there, I'm like, oh, these are all the guys from Pink. And like, from filming all the samples, I know who Pink is, So I was like,
Yep.
This is sick. This is cool, So, and then I remember we played the mech event. The mech event of that, it was not last year, but the year before, I want to say. It had to be in December or January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this one pretty vividly, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. So
definitely
we played that mech event, and I guess I would only assume, you'd have to ask JT for sure, but I assume the mech event was like a pseudo tryout, and then after the mech event, they had a tryout. But I didn't go to play the tryout. I went to film the tryout because I was like, I want to film these guys. These guys are cool. But then after the day was over, JT came over to me. He's like, hey, I want you to play. And that wasn't even a thought. I was like, whoa, these guys want me to play? Like, this sounds fun, So, yeah. And I remember one thing about like Pink, and especially like JT, that I really appreciate is they were one of the only people in my life to come at me positively, but also realistically about like, life changes that I need to make happen. Like JT was like, hey, he said it in the nicest way possible, but he's like, hey man, if you want to get on this team, we do mandatory workouts. You have to post about it. You have to prove it, blah, blah, blah. And, you got to work on losing weight. And that was the first thing that I did. And, immediately before the first event, I think I had already lost like 30 or 40 pounds at that point.
Jeez.
But yeah. like that's one thing about this team that I really am in love with is they not only have made my paintball life, I feel, a lot better, but they've made my personal outside of paintball life a lot better, where I feel like I'm the healthiest I've ever been. I've never looked at what I'm eating as much as I do now,
Yeah,
dude,
and so when you send in the group chat that you haven't worked out that day, and then everyone tells you to go into the basement, and they put you in the coffin. It's all very normal. It's good for you. It makes you healthier. So yeah,
it's accountability.
Cults are a good thing.
Yeah,
accountability. That is. I'm glad you said that. That is a huge thing that some people just are not about, right? And accountability on a team is huge because sometimes, right, when the game of paintball gets intense and you're in the trenches, a lot of people sometimes do not want to take accountability right in the heat of the battle.
No.
Right? So it's a huge thing where you can get on a team that actually has the vibe where it's like, okay, I made the mistake, let's fix it. Like, let's elaborate, go forward. Right?
Absolutely.
And one thing that me and Brando were talking about with mistakes, we were, because me and Brando, we had a pretty long car ride. Because I got to stay with him this weekend. Shout out, Brando. Thank you.
Yep.
We were talking about how some of our teammates, they were getting shot a little sloppy at times, and it was like, okay, when you're playing the layout, it's like if you get shot a certain way once, okay, now you learn from it. Twice, guy got a lucky ball, right? Third, if you get shot on the same thing a third time, bro, say it, Brando.
You're sitting.
Straight up. Straight up.
Yeah.
So
the little clap.
tell me the dynamic on Pink with that when it comes to accountability in the game. How, tell me some intense moments that have happened.
So what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Elaborate. I'm sorry.
Like, because I remember you. So if I am correct, you were on the roster that won that WC event, right?
Yes, we were. Yeah, absolutely. I was. Yeah.
So talk me through that. That was a very intense moment for you guys. Yes.
So that
was very emotional for you guys. I remember the pictures and everything.
Yeah, I got photos of me crying like a little girl. Absolutely. But yeah,
dude, I understand.
No, yeah, that was one thing, and it was cool. So one thing that we did before the event is which I think was really, really awesome, is we set little goals, and we talked about those goals before the event. So like we all had it's like a talking stick. Talking stick came to me. They're like, "What's your goal for the year and the season?" I'm like, "I want to win an event. I've never won a Dub C before. I've gone and filmed Dub Cs hundreds of times, and like winning a Dub C is hard. You know what I mean? Like,
definitely, a lot of local talent.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things where it's like we went into it, and we were confident, and we all played to our best ability, and it came out obviously really, really good. We ended up winning the event, but it was crazy because like it felt so fast. Like I got on the team. We started meshing, we started practicing a lot, and obviously we practiced you guys a lot before that event, and like to go into it and not only like mesh as well as a team as we did, but to do as good as we did was awesome. Like that was, I don't want to say unexpected, but it's like, when you work so hard for something and it pays off, like that release of it paying off was awesome.
Absolutely. That is awesome to hear.
Yeah.
So, okay, who on Pink right now? Who is your favorite teammate?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard. Just one.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Now name
only
it in
one.
public on a recorded forum
Yep.
where they will all be able to listen and make fun of you if you don't pick them.
Yeah,
Gosh, you're a horrible interviewer.
Luckily we play at the same field, so we know. We'll dish it out later. Dish it out on the field. We'll be fine.
So
the one name you say, that's the one you love. Everyone else you hate. Let's just put that out there.
No,
damn.
That's what I was saying, Brandon. Obviously,
I feel like
everyone else.
I feel like I have to split this answer into two because I brought my friend Jared onto the squad, and I've won many events with him. Played a lot of tournaments with him. Yeah, Jared, one of my favorites. But like, I feel like because we have a history, I have to remove him from my favorite teammate from that because Jared's one of my best friends, so I feel like it's a little unfair to throw him in with everybody else, But I would.
He's already your best friend. Can't be your best teammate.
Yeah. So it's I gotta say with everybody on the squad right now, favorite teammate I would probably say is JT, mainly because I've never had somebody hold me accountable for everything like that before. Like typically you have friends who are, they're friends, like base level friendships, you know what I mean? But I feel like when with him, he strives to not only make me a better person and a better paintball player, but everybody on the team. And that's why he's my favorite personally. I mean, dude, last Sunday was 3 months sober off nicotine, which if anybody knows me,
let's go, baby.
Been vaping for years, forever, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
And it all stemmed from him basically being like, you can't do it. And I'm like, fuck you, I can. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was more about a spite, but it worked, I'm not, it's been three months. I mean, I've been doing it for 15 years. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's an awesome dynamic because me and Cedar used to be huge douches like that. They used to vape, right? To where we were like, you know what? Fuck this shit. We want to we want to make sure that lung capacity, none of that is even an excuse.
Oh yeah.
So at that point, we quit cold turkey right then and there, and had never ingested nicotine ever sinse. So dude, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That with accountability like that.
Oh, it was hard. It was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do.
Absolutely.
To be real.
Dude, the oral fixation, dude, it is just so normalized when you've done it for so long.
Yeah, I ended up copying one of these, and it helps me a whole lot.
What is that?
It's one of the
Shout out Papa Meat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Use code Papa Meat.
Please use this code.
Yeah, I use this code, bro. 100%. I got the venture pack and everything, dog.
Nice. That is awesome to hear with your team in Pink and how you just that seems to be fitting on like a glove.
Yeah. I'm loving it, honestly. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been on I have my other team United. We played events, in the last couple of years, but it was for fun, 3-man D4 events. It wasn't a serious 5-man dub C we're practicing every weekend sort of team. So it felt really cool for me to get back into the X-ball, side of things, So yeah, it's really great to be back playing 5-man, and especially playing D3 this year. It's it's awesome. This is what I want.
100%. I mean, obviously, you share the same goals as me and Brando, right? We're both our teams are out there basically every weekend grinding against each other. It is just iron on iron. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I like about Pink is you guys are not a bunch of pussies.
Right?
No, you guys are scrappy, and you guys, dude. If we take a breath for too long, you guys are fucking running us down. So that's one thing that I love about Pink. So, Brando, you got anything to add?
Nah, it's you brought up JT. JT strikes me as if no one's ever met him, talking to him, he's so calm and so centered, and everything. I don't want to say everything that he says is a matter of fact, but it's so not even confidence. I don't know. It's so mature, right?
Yeah.
You think he's so much older than he is because it's like he's talking. He never beats around the bush unless he jokes around. But I think you got to learn his humor first. But he's straight to the point, and it's really well grounded. Everything that he says, and it took me aback when I found out how old he was. He's younger than me. I'm like, what the fuck? Hold on.
I thought he was older than me too, bro. To be real, like just because of his maturity level.
Yeah. Yes. Incredibly mature. And I think Michelle playing with you guys in the Sepple team.
Yeah.
Being around him more and talking with him, and with him talking to her about goals and everything, it was like, damn, like getting a better insight of the inner workings of Pink is really nice. It's really cool that you guys are building a program rather than just a team. It's a program, bringing everyone on the same goals, right? Like-minded individuals. It's really fun to see. I'm glad that you linked up with them, right?
Yeah.
And then what I wanted to ask was, you seem like a collector. I've seen stories of you cleaning out bins of old gear.
Brandon, he has at least 6 different masks behind him that I can see
right
in
here.
his frame currently.
Exactly. Yeah, we're getting to it. What? All right. Let's go with masks. Like, do you have a favorite mask build? At least with the Pro Flexes that I see. Oh, I didn't even see the 2 bottom ones in the mirror. Oh shit!
I was like, oh yeah, those ones there. But favorite build, man. Favorite build. I mean, I you guys have seen me film for centuries, so like I love my my good old reliable. I've had this mask for centuries, but my good old reliable OG blue steels. Like I love the blue steel look, especially with this 33 thread shift out of set. Shout out 33 threads. But yeah, looks beautiful. I love the old school styles, but I would say probably that one. I do love me some clears. It's just everybody has clears now. Mm-hmm. So it's
No, Dewey does have some OG paintball ag. He's one of the few guys who knows about long sleeve type, or not long sleeve, like long tee type like
tall
looks
tee
and stuff like that. Like I do like seeing Dewey on the paintball field. He reminds me of the middle 2000s quite a bit.
Oh yeah, dude. Sorry.
He has such a distinguished look. Go ahead.
Yeah. I that's one thing. Like I love that old school style. I grew up around that and like with that. And I remember like my best friend. The reason why I got into paintball, like my old best friend back in the day, his uncle had a Dirter DVD that he let him borrow, and that was like one of the first times I ever seen Pro Paintball was on a Dirter DVD. I want to say it was either. I think what was it? It wasn't Bring Out Your Dead. It was the year before. Gosh, now I can't think about the video title. I know I have the file here. War of Attrition.
I've pirated it. I've ripped it 100%.
No, not pirate. I bought that. No, War of Attrition is what it was called.
War of Attrition.
But yeah, man, like I just love that old school tall tee style, that ag look, you know what I mean? I love that look, I
will say on the topic of pirating, old paintball media is to the point where it's almost lost media at this point. I don't blame anyone if you have fucking pirated copies of that shit. Good, keep it, save it, make sure fucking new
internet
people
needs
will be able
it.
to see it.
The internet needs it.
Oh, dude,
we're past the day where I'm judging you for ripping off your copy of Heroes for a Day. That's cool, bro. Make sure we have more of those.
Dude, it's so funny since they took down Heroes for a Day on YouTube because everybody's freaking out that they took that down. But I've had a pile of those DVDs at the shop for years, and ever since they put it down and people started talking about how they took it down, we started posting like, "Hey, brand new copies of Heroes for a Day." And, I'm like,
the only reason this is in my hand is because of Dufort, and I've shouted you out before from this. The thing that sucks now is I've never been more tempted to rip it because I've always been able to just watch Heroes for a Day on YouTube. Now I'm like, fuck, if I want to watch Heroes for a Day, I gotta fucking open this thing. God damn it, I want to keep it sealed. It's still in package and everything.
Don't worry,
but yeah, Well, I was gonna say this is one of my like prized paintball possessions. Like this is such a cool piece of history of the game, and so yeah, when you I think you posted a picture of it, I was like, what the fuck? How do I get one of those? And you were like, I'll just bring you one. I was like, oh, okay, hell yeah. So yeah,
homie hookup right there.
The only thing I would maybe do that would make it cooler is like bringing it to an event and having like Maddie sign it. I think that'd be sick. Also, you know, if Rich is still there, I know he's taking a little bit more of a hiatus from paintball, but yeah, that'd be the only thing that elevates it.
One thing that I saw really cool on a PB Nation post years ago is in those Heroes for a Day boxes, there's a little picture book with like a bunch of like, you know, photos of like, you know, the pros back in the day, and he went and got every pro that was in that book like signed underneath it, like by every person, like a little picture book. Cool. It's so cool. But yeah, you can open it, and you know, we got brand new copies available at bfpgear.com for $9.95.
Oh, yeah, that's a banger deal. What the hell?
$9.95 bfpgear.com. You know, shout out. But yeah,
that's not bad.
Absolutely.
Honestly, just get one of those for the sake of fucking paintball history. I mean,
yeah, right.
Heroes for a Day literally it's one of the best pieces of paintball media ever made, and I stand by that. Maybe I am biased because it's a Sacramento-based.
It's on the Mount Rushmore.
All the legends, but God, fuck you. You literally are holding one of their egos.
Like Heroes for a Day is on like the Mount Rushmore of
I do remember. I love that scene when they're breaking into like their brand new, what was it, the 07 egos, and like they're all like got the Planet Eclipse boxes. It's like we still see that shit today. Nothing's changed.
I love that stuff, dude.
Oh yeah.
Planet Eclipse, they have made nothing but great markers ever since. I mean, when I first got my very first Planet Eclipse marker, I was like, damn, this was the step up.
Planet Eclipse 100% killed Angel. Planet Eclipse probably was in a part of killing Bob Long, and Planet Eclipse is a big reason why MacDev and like not necessarily Shock Part or Smart Parts, but they took so much market share from so many different companies, and that it was like, okay, well, Die has the money to compete against us, and that's about it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say,
no, my bad.
My first ever high-end gun ever was an 07 Vicious Ego. This one, but it's like I've been shooting Eclipse guns since I was a child, but yeah, they just work. They function. They don't break. You know, this gun still works after how many years?
Like, so when Hatch came out here, Tanner gave me his TM40 to shoot for a bit, and like I played some one-on-ones with it. I hate it. I don't want to ever shoot that gun again. I will always carry respect for the person it's named after, but no, I don't like the marker itself. But my literal response is like, just put a fucking Planet marker in my hands. They all shoot well. They all work. They fucking almost never break. Like, no one could pay me enough money to talk as good about Planet Eclipse as another marker manufacturer. Like, it just, the only gun I want to shoot is Planet. If you ever see me shooting another gun, it's because I got one for free or someone is paying me to do so. I will say that 100%.
Yeah, I mean,
like, dude, like, just out of the box, just 290, ball on ball every time. Like it.
Okay, it's 2025. Every marker does that. Really, let's be real. I mean, every marker should do that. Really, should. That is true. But yeah, even with that, like. They're just reliable ass markers. That's the one thing I love about Planet guns. Every time we have a Mud Bowl type event, obviously their boards are going to go down. It's a fucking electronic gun. It's going to do that. But I feel like I see way more fucking, DLXs and shit fucking just in the pits, all torn apart, trying to salvage it.
Definitely. I mean, I'm at the point where with my CS2, like my black and teal, like I've shot like almost the life out of her. No joke. Like every single time now, I gotta start taking her to a tech, dude.
She's limping to the finish line.
She's limping to the finish line.
I want to see her shot count.
It's been reset so many times, bro.
You are testing Odysseus's ship at this point, though, bro.
That
gun is not the gun that left the Planet Eclipse factory 6 years ago when you got it. It has
dude.
4 different solenoids, probably a different board or two. There's probably at least been a couple different changes on the
double-digit boards. So I'm pretty sure it's the same solenoid. I'm pretty sure that's what's going out on her right now, and I'm like, oh god, because I can every time when I get her rolling,
throw
dude.
Another one in there. It's still the same thing.
Yep, I'm like, all right, I need a weapon. And then Brando throws me his CS2.
I need a weapon.
So
is that how you call for a gun in the pits? You don't say gun. Just like,
honestly, you know what I really say? You know what I say? I really, no joke, I really go, I need a sword, because that's what whenever I'm sitting, I go, hey, your sword, sir.
Dude,
and I give them the gun.
I do the same thing with Nate. I go, your sword, and when I hand them a gun, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yup.
We're all nice.
That is the way,
bro.
It just it feels so much more powerful.
Yeah.
You're going out there like going to war, you know? Obviously fake war with gelatinous balls, but not for us.
No.
It feels way more intense for us.
No, it's so real.
It feels better to me when I go up to Brandon and I'm like, all right, for shizzle, here's your nizzle. And then I like hand it to him sideways and, you know, like spill half the loader out. But he gets the, you know, the effort that I'm putting into it for him.
Of course. Yeah.
And then he gets
respect.
3 on the break because it's a drive-by.
Yup.
Huh?
What?
Well, we're back in Stockton now. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
No, this is life training. What did you think I was talking about?
This
I was handing you a cat.
This is not on the field. Okay.
Oh, okay. So, Dufort.
Yeah.
You said that. Would you say that vicious marker was your favorite marker?
It was my first electronic gun. My favorite marker.
Yeah. Tell me what your favorite is.
Wait. How many markers can you see where you're sitting? Because you're looking around.
I had a feeling we would be talking about this, so I already preemptively like brought some out just in case, you know. But
we pre-ordered the visual.
Brandon with 4 at your feet all the time.
But
shut up.
I would say my
Brandon, question for you: how many markers can you see without leaving your chair?
3.
Fucking, you got a problem, bro.
This is a more sentimental thing for me personally, but my favorite gun is my 2K12 G6R Dragon. It's a 1-of-1 colorway from the factory. It's typically the colors are the blacks up here, and then it fades to a color. Because the blacks up here, so they don't have to re-anno the LPR, HPR, you know, so that can all be black, so they don't, you know, so. But I wanted it flipped, and I kind of said it as a joke, but this is the only gun that my dad ever bought me, was this gun right here. So it's like, wow. It's like the one gun he got me, and you know, it's kind of funny story how he got it. It's one of the
best markers ever made.
One of his clients or fishing buddies, I think at the time, was Bob Long's fishing buddy. He knew Bob. So it ended up being where my dad calls me at school. I'm in class. And he's all, hey, what was that gun that you said you wanted? And I'm like, why is he calling me about a paintball gun, like in class? And I like, out of, you know, me being a punk kid at the time, I was like, yeah, I want a purple fade to black G6R Dragon. You know, just as a complete joke.
Talking big.
Thinking like, there's no way. Like, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? But then, you know, Christmas of that year, under the tree, there's a box. And what's in this box?
No fucking
And I
way.
open it, bro, and it's this. Like, it was like the best Christmas of my life. You know what I mean? I'll never forget that, you know? So this is, it's the one gun I'll like, you have to bury me with this. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, but
that is sick.
But yeah, that's probably why this is my favorite, you know, sentimental thing. But yeah, it still works and shoots to this day. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, you brought it out to the field, right?
Yeah,
what's the shot counter on that?
Well, it's long story.
Is there a shot counter on G6Rs?
Long story, but all the electronics had to be replaced. There was an unfortunate accident, but yeah, basically it's all brand new parts that I had to replace. So yeah, it's all brand new on the inside. It works. Yeah.
Hey, Odysseus' shit. We were just talking about this with Hatch, all right? It's the same gun.
Oh, yeah.
Don't ask questions.
100%. I am going to use my marker until literally she has no breath left, and then she's just going to be a banner on my wall.
Until it starts shooting by itself, right? Oh.
No, dude, literally, it's been so fried. It's been so fried where, no joke, she shot by herself. Like the Chicago event where it's just pouring down rain. I'm holding her by the front grip, walking like barrel straight up with a barrel sock on, obviously. And I'm just walking, da-da-da-da-da, then fucking da-da-da-da-da-da, and I'm like, what the fuck? I started possessing my gun and started randomly shooting, and I'm like, all right, I need to go to the tech, bro.
So what actually happened was a drop of water connected a power, and then it shorted out and started activating the board, but it was a ghost. It was a spirit.
Yeah, it was without, I would definitely say it was more of a spirit than a tech issue, that's for sure. Because
Planet
Eclipse never goes down, baby. Planet Eclipse never goes down.
I literally just said that in my rant that, like, yes, obviously there's shit, it's a gun with a board in it. They're gonna break at times, but
never
because of stupid shit.
Never, ever,
never.
Like the amount of people during Dallas last year, I watched dive into the Snake 1 on the semi-pro field and then proceed to go, hey, marker, right into a puddle.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, that's weird. Your electronic loader and your gun don't work anymore. I wonder why that happened.
Crazy.
Yeah. That event, like, honestly, kind of glad we didn't make Sunday, if I'm being honest, because we had to help the D4 team at the time.
Yeah, that was the last time you got drunk, Ash.
Yeah, that,
Is it? Let's go.
I'm trying to think of, like, another time, realistically. Like, I mean, I got pretty buzzed on New Year's, but, like, Nothing too crazy.
Nah, not crazy.
Yeah, this man started sneaking hard AFs. It was the whole thing. We had to track him down. It was, yeah.
Oh man,
We were talking about it. We were talking about this at dinner the other day. I don't think we'll pina colada. We were talking about that. Pina colada, not a fan. Oh, Dufort, pina colada, yay or nay?
I'm not. I can't drink hard liquor, especially no tequila. I can't do it.
So no pina colada.
You're cheering like that's a victory.
I'm
hard liquor.
close.
He didn't say pineapple and coconut.
But that was my question.
I'm also allergic to coconut, so definitely no.
Yeah.
That's a dub for me, baby. That's a dub for me.
No, that is not a victory.
Being
allergic is not me. No.
Yeah, it is. Hey,
Wait, I call it a push.
thank you,
All right, I'll go with Brandon's.
Yeah.
So,
Fair enough.
okay.
Talk
One
about
thing you were
layout practice. I know you guys want to.
one more quick question about you, Dufort.
Mm-hmm.
You were telling us about how you, from the first event when you first got on the team, between when you first got on the team and the first event, you lost 40 pounds.
Yeah.
Tell me about your weight loss journey.
So when I joined the team, I was over 300 pounds. I was probably in the. So the NXL I played one of the SAC NXLs way before I joined Pink. I was pushing 330 then, and I tried to lose weight on my own. Wasn't really too, I lost maybe 15 pounds, kind of gave up, and then that's when Pink came along. So I don't know the true starting weight when I joined Pink, but I do know I was above 300 pounds. But now it became a thing where I was losing a ton, and then it kind of stagnated. And then I decided to quit nicotine, and then I gained a few back, but now I'm losing it again now that I'm cool off the nicotine, you know what I mean? So right now I'm sitting in the 230s at this very moment. But yeah, started out, pushing 300. So we're working there, we're getting there, It's it's obviously an ongoing battle, but just trying to work out at least 3 times a week. One thing that JT did at the beginning of the year, he said, I'm going to challenge you, but you can't know what the challenge is, but you got to say yes or no. And typically I'm the type of person, I'll puss out and say no. But one thing this year that I really wanted to do, I wanted to push myself and be comfortable in the uncomfortable. So I was like, fuck it, let's do it. What's the challenge? And JT's like, you got to run a mile every single week this year. Every week you can. So I've been doing that since the beginning of this year, is running a mile at least one time a week. Every week.
Nice.
So, starting out, my first mile time was 13 something, but now I'm running my last mile time last week was an 8:46. So,
nice.
we're getting down there,
That's
what
good
I
pace.
mean? But yeah, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels good, you know what I mean? I used to do a lot of running, when I was in middle school. I went to a middle school called Prescott, and one thing they did, they forced you to run a mile every week as well. So,
every fucking Monday, bro.
Yeah, so yeah. It was every Monday, every something.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, but so
Monday.
it was weird when I started running the miles again. I was I kind of remember it all came back to me where I was like, oh yeah, this is how you pace yourself. This is the breathing, and then it just snapped back into it. It's not really too hard anymore. You know what I mean? I gotta say it's probably. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say one thing good that JT did too is he made it a realistic goal.
Yeah.
Because one of the things too, and no offense to it, but as a bigger guy, when you're kind of coming back into stuff, injuries are just more prone to happen. There's
100%.
more weight when you're going on a run, so there's more errors that could happen. So that I like that because that is a good realistic goal of once a week getting out there, getting a mile done, and then having some time for joints and everything to kind of repair back up. But yeah, I would say that's always a big thing with goals is it's got to be realistic. It can't be something that even when you're setting it, you're not going to make it, and then you just kind of disappoint yourself because then it has that negative feedback cycle.
Oh, absolutely. And the cool thing too is the working out thing has helped not only me out a lot, but my father out a lot. We've been we go at least on a 2.5 mile walk every night, or at least 3 to 4 times a week, So not only has that
Awesome.
that's helping my dad out, I now I'm able to spend an hour or two with my pops every night and talk, things you might have not do normally, you know what I mean? So it's been cool to have these real cool conversations with my dad. I don't think I would have otherwise, you know what I mean? So it's real cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I feel so I heard this thing that I don't know if it's true or not, but it was over the age of 30, 70% of people are never gonna sprint, because it's they never really have a reason to, right?
Yeah, those people don't play paintball.
yeah, people don't. A lot of people don't do shit. You know, if you think about it, a lot of
There's
people don't do
times
shit.
when I go to like during those one-on-ones, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna go that hard. I haven't fucking stretched or done anything in a while. I don't want to like tear anything. Then a paintball comes at you, and all thoughts are gone, and it's just, fuck. All right, get to the point. Goddamn. Okay, we're snapping now, and you're like, shit. All right, now I'm gassed and fuck, I'm tired.
Yep. Because I remember I was up in Ryan's face, and I'm like, all right, what's the play? He's like, all right, I'm facing Tanner, who is like one of the better players on.
Tanner moves a lot. Tanner moves a lot. Moving, yeah.
Right, and he was like, he likes to move a lot. And he's like elaborating on it, and it's just really cool seeing Ryan in that element. Because I mean, obviously he's way more of the guy behind the camera compared to the guy behind the marker. Right, so that was one thing that was really cool, Ryan. But I don't know. Okay, on the weight loss thing,
we watch a lot of film, you fuckers. We know what you guys like to do.
Definitely, right.
Sorry, just last thing on that topic.
Yeah.
Like, Hatch, I know your body language when you want to move out of a bunker, because it's 100% different than when you want to sit there and hold your lane for a second. And like, that's just things I've learned by filming you for probably over a couple hundred hours at this point. So it's like when you're sitting there and then you start kind of getting light on your feet and like your hip starts to shift to the right, or whatever the sideline that you're gonna go out is. I'm like, oh, Hatch is about to move. Oh, and he's gone.
Yep, and that's when you see a lot of players in the game. They're like, "Oh, he wants to go. You hear that a ton, right? But anyway, real quick. I don't know if you guys have seen that trend where it's like people will get their significant other. They're like, you know what? I've never seen them sprint before, and they get like their wife or something to sprint, and they film each other sprinting for the first time. Bro,
Dean's got her grips on you, my man. What the fuck,
dude?
Hatch of 2 years ago ain't talking about this. What the fuck?
No, dude. It was just fucking
couples trends now, my man.
No, it was just fucking funny because some of these people, like, dude, are like the Goofy movie running. Like
I haven't ran since high school. Yeah,
exactly. Like that last time they ran was in high school. And like even before that, they were the kind of like they were the hot Cheeto girl that walked the track.
Cheeto girl.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Being from Fresno, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Do exactly.
Picture.
Oh yeah.
No, fuck. What was I gonna say? At work, at the podcast company I came into, they were talking about it at the beginning of this year. I don't know if it's still happening or what ended up happening, but they were gonna do an office 40-yard dash. So they were gonna have everyone like do a 40-yard time.
Oh yeah.
And the conversation before it was there's a couple guys who like had a lot of confidence in themselves and they're like, yeah, I'll be fine. And a couple smart people were like, man, you're in your early 40s, bro. Like, you're gonna pull a hamstring. I don't know when the last time you have sprinted for your life was, but it probably was at least 10 years ago, and your muscle memory is gonna take over, and then 20 yards in, you're just gonna collapse like a freaking, I don't know, a sack of potatoes. So, it is always interesting to me. People very much overestimate like sprinting ability, especially if you don't do it often. Like, yeah, I mean, all of our audience usually, they play paintball, they're active people, but for those guys, you just go to the office every day and you really don't have a need ever to run for your life or like have that situation.
There's
run for your life just sounds so funny.
Yeah,
there's skill sets.
That's what it is in paintball. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're definitely right.
It activates that same neuron cluster where you're like, danger, fucking go.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, dodge. What were you saying, Brando?
No, it's funny to hear older people talk about just how different skills or certain skill sets as you age get taken away, and that's certainly one.
Yeah.
Just sprinting.
Yeah, they
right?
get taken away from you.
Yeah,
like,
without you knowing.
Springs out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They just disappear.
Damn it! I can't do that no more.
No, but Brandy does bring up a good point there. Like, because I've been around people older than me in a lot of the workplaces I've been in, and it's always like, yeah, Sonny, you think you're spry now? And dude, I'm 26 and I fucking already feel this shit. Like, compared to when I was like 19 and like just have unlimited just energy. And yeah, no, I crash in the middle of the day now. What the fuck is that shit? I ain't never did that before.
You need naps? Oh, Ryan takes naps now.
Naps are great now.
No, dude.
Really
He needs a different N word, bro. NECTR.
NECTR.
I honestly didn't know where that was going.
I was scared.
I'm glad that was the N word that you were talking about.
None of us thought that was the N word you were talking about.
NECTR energy.
We all held our breath, Patch.
I know you guys did.
144 episodes. This is the one.
Peace out, boys. Nice knowing you. But yeah, NECTR, keep you energized. Use code MafiaProductions.
Get neighbors off your mind, bro. So moving forward, you guys want to talk about the layout practice?
Absolutely, hell yeah.
Because you guys played it. I, this weekend, was fucking busy overwatching shit for work. Work is taking over my life. I feel like an old person. So tell us about the layout weekend and how it felt to leave the house, because that would have been fun.
Well, one, the layout is very interesting. I actually like it a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of fun. I think you can definitely be really sneaky. The line snake, the ladder snake, is not as like free
Ladder
range as you
snaky?
really think, right?
Yeah.
It's not as free range as you think, right? Even though it goes all the way down, like probably the longest snake we've seen in fucking forever, right? But there are times where, I mean, everybody has that one tall guy on the team that can just shoot down, and you know, sure as shit, there's a spot where you can go that's not that hard to get to, that you can stop the snake from like going all the way down to your side and just fucking you up, right? And it was cool. We had a meeting with Ryan Greenspan and stuff like that, to where you know, where if you're playing short on the snake side, flip to the Dorito side immediately, and it just tic-tac-toe, right? Simple stuff. And it would I love the layout. Brando, what do you think of the layout?
Yeah, it hurts even more that I'm missing this one. I fucking loved it. I loved playing it. It's a layout that just kind of makes sense. It's straightforward. Nothing weird on the snake side or up the center. Yeah, you can feel like you could get lost in the center and on the Dorito side very well.
Definitely.
And it's
So
a lot of
essentially,
fucking
you just
shots off the
queued
break,
into
dude.
like you just queued into domination on backlot, and then you got host migration right as the game started.
Exactly.
You're like,
Yep.
let's go. Oh fuck.
Unless I'm the new host and I have host advantage, you know, then I'm okay. But
Kids,
the
kids
layout,
these days don't know about hosts. God, we didn't even have dedicated servers. Fuck out of here.
the good old days, dude. The good old days. You guys remember the connection error trick shot?
We'll
off the
talk
high
about
rise?
COD later. We'll talk about COD later.
Sorry. I remember that
Bringing
shit.
it way back.
Legendary shot. But anyway, what were we talking about? Layout practice.
Yeah,
Alright.
it was fun. It was Saturday. We played ourselves a lot, right? Yeah, we played ourselves a lot. A lot of situationals, drills and situationals on Saturday, breaking it down, you know, breakouts and shit. And then come Sunday, for the first half of the day, we played you guys, played Pink. We were running points against you guys, and that felt pretty back and forth, tight points. And then we both broke off and just kind of doing our own things, you know, other drills. We were like, you know, seeing how long we could find a hold, or you know, how to push within a minute or something, you know, different situations.
Some
But
real kick, push, push,
Yep.
push, coast, and then away we go. That's a great ass song. Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems from what you guys are talking about a very fundamental heavy type layout. I mean, nothing fancy. It's not like you gotta fucking make crazy runs or there's insane bounce shots or anything. It just kind of seems like you gotta play fundamental paintball. You gotta understand the aggression, you know, how that changes and pulls throughout a point.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say there's no crazy bounce shots, but there's not
It's
that
a-
many
it's
bounce
outside.
shots.
Paintball layout in 2025, yes, there's bounce shots, but you get the point I'm making. At least, like,
Yeah.
not-
Unless
we've had
somehow
we've
they
had
get
some
rid of
gimmicky
geometry.
layouts recently.
Unless they get rid of geometry, bounce shots aren't going anywhere. You know. So
No,
Dufort.
unless they make more brittle paint. That's what it is.
Valid. Or you know, I've actually seen bunkers where it's like made out of a certain material where they just don't break on it. I don't know
Like
what the fuck
hyperball
it is.
tubes. We'll go back to hyper.
Are we gonna go back to
hyperball.
hyperball?
Well, the
Is that
spray,
the situation, or is that the
spray.
solution all along?
I think we should go back to the turtles versus the Iron Man, the pallets. That's what I
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
the
the
pallets were
pallets,
pretty good.
definitely. Yeah, we need to go back to the
Open
pallets.
field with wooden like pallets, literally just that painted white in a field. I love it.
Oh, I
Dufort,
agree.
you know, at APP, the pallet field where like you get in towards the 50s on the edges, and
Yeah,
they
you're
start
talking about
turning
doors. Yeah, that's like my
Yeah,
favorite
doors,
paintball
yeah,
field.
yeah.
The favorite paintball field of all time is that field. I love
It-
that specific field. Doors, so fun, so fun.
It is so crazy. Do you want to explain how it's
So-
set up for these guys? It's insane.
Do I got a piece of paper? Is that the real question?
So
It's
this is the
Holy
layout
shit.
I want to hear.
So basically, the layout is kind of like an egg shape, like this, like a egg shape, kind of. But the back line all the doors are straight, okay? So it's like straight doors all the way across, you know, like this. So the tape kind of goes out wider like this, but the thing is that the doors on the side, once you like go up to like the third row, they start turning. And then eventually when you get to the 50, they're sideways. So like the aerial view is crazy of this field. So it's like, it's cool because if you kill a whole side, you can like run to the sideways door and like you're sideways now, you know? But it's just it's so hard to explain. Like you look at an aerial view of this field of American Paintball Park in Livermore, and you'll see what I mean. Like this field's crazy. It's so much fun.
Yeah, that sounds sick.
I remember pushing up the very first time I played it and just being like, "Oh God, oh God, I can't live.
I'm so tired."
It's it's a cool layout. But yeah, what'd you think about this layout this past weekend?
Well, the funniest thing I think about this layout is all the memes that I saw about how big boys aren't gonna like it, and they, you know, and all this jazz. But like, I gotta say, like, I love the mini W as the back center. Because you can do so many different things with it. Like we played, you think you guys played on it too, the USXBL layout, where it had the mini W as the back center? Because I know we had that set up there for like a couple of weeks, I think. But
if it was there, we played it for sure.
Yeah, like I love the mini W as the back center. Like, because if you play that nipple just right, you can shoot either side and be safe, you know? But there's a lot of real crafty things you can do with it, and I really like that back center specifically. But as you were saying about like the field, I feel like this is one of those fields where I wouldn't really be mad if they're like, "Hey, Dufort, go up the middle, go to the Dorito side, go to the snake side." I'm like, I'm cool with either or. Like it's all like sick. Like like I'm cool with either side. But I really enjoy how it's traditional in a sense. But I also kind of like how there's no snake corner. So in that sense, it's not traditional, but you got to find another way to stop that snake, which I find really interesting, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah, like we were...
It seems...
I was going to say, I was doing some drills with a D4 team called the Patriarchs out at Extreme. And one thing that, like, I kind of learned when I was playing them is, you know, like, you can get to those spots and stand tall and look into the snake, you know? And you could see them crawling around, but it's like a split second to shoot that pack, you know what I mean? But if someone's taller than me, they probably can see it way easier, you know?
Definitely, right? I mean, I feel like I said earlier, right? Everybody has that one tall guy on their team that can just hit that shot, right?
Paintball's meant for tall people. It's not meant for small people. It's all been a myth.
Dude. You know what? You get behind the
their
cake.
Whole lives.
I'll live forever behind that little cake.
Yeah, I will too, bitch. Fuck you. I don't know if you've seen me or DOS play. We can get small too, motherfucker, all right? You don't play this game if you can't bend in half.
Brando's already small, though. So he's like, he already has that advantage. You know what, Brando? True. I'd like to see you play tall on a tower, shooting down on the snake.
You know, actually...
I can't do it either.
No, but it is good, though, because now we have some game in the world where small people like Brandon, Kyle Spica, Malloy, they could be the GOATs, when really in any other traditional sporting avenue that exists in the world, they would not be looked at all. But
hey, paintball and horse racing. We got it.
But Brandon, I hate to say it, Shabby would be the horse jockey, not you.
Oh, fuck.
So, yeah, you don't even have that. So, sorry, buddy. It's really, you got paintball. That's about it. Swimming, tall people. Basketball, tall people. Football, tall and big people. Fucking.
That's not what you call those.
Whoa. People who can hit shit really well.
No, now, okay. Out of left field. Micro wrestling. That's one you can do when you're short.
So now Brandon's micro wrestling size.
You know,
I've said a lot of mean things to Brandon. I've never once called him a little person.
I would. I'm pretty sure you've
called him.
I'm pretty sure you've also said, Brand. I've said it too. I ain't gonna lie. But you talk about Brando and his uppies. You know what I'm saying? He gets uppies.
I never said he was a little person, Hatch.
Hey, psycho.
I think what you're missing here, Hatch, is I imply that. That's what good jokes are. You imply the bad thing. You don't have to come out and say it right away.
He straight up said, "This short motherfucker." Yeah. Yeah, this little boy.
Well,
I get it.
I'm not too much taller, so I must be just out of that micro wrestling range.
I know
so.
the fact we
Thank
don't
God.
talk about your height more is crazy. You just get away with it.
You know,
You're only 2 inches taller than Braden.
I'm the shortest on the team. Hatch is the second shortest. Yeah.
I am the second
It's
shortest.
not like it's all that different. Like you pretend like you're Paul at times, and I'm like, no. It's me and him, not you and him.
I feel like it. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about confidence. Confidence is key, everybody. Right? But anyway.
That's right. The Stephen Hatch method of life. Walk into a room, your dick's been there 20 minutes.
Yup. Valid. I never looked at it like that. That's a good way to put it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, going back to layout practice.
No, fuck it. I don't give a shit. We're not talking about the layout.
But I want to
Paintball
add
layout.
something.
Send two guys to the snake side, send two guys to the Dorito side, and send one person to the back center and make him fill out towards the direction that is losing off the break. I just gave you a pretty solid fucking breakout, okay? There you go, and I haven't even seen the fucking field.
Mid.
But we can fit 3 guys
It'll
back
win
there.
points.
Exactly.
I saw-
I was saying we could do 5 to hit the mothership.
The mothership play. We're finally going to do the mothership. We've talked about this for years, man.
I love the mothership.
All I'm gonna say, if you play in DMG and you hear them calling the mothership, it's 5 guys at home. That's what the mothership means, okay? We've tried to play it on multiple layouts and it's never once worked.
The mothership.
The mini dub back center. The mini dub back center is the one. So if you see this, good luck. Let me just say.
Actually, you guys might have to change the mothership now because I feel like Joe Rogan is gonna fucking hit you guys with like copyright suits. He's gonna be like, well, actually, my club's named that, so sorry guys, you can't use that call out anymore.
Yeah, whatever.
I
Joe
used
Rogan.
a joke that had a little bit of a reference to real life, and I forgot Hatch has no reference for real life. Okay, so back to the layout. Anything else for that, I guess, guys? You wanted to
was
touch
fun.
on it real quick, or just practice in general last weekend?
It was tons of fun.
Wow,
Me and
don't all
JT
talk
got
at
into a little fucking shootout, so it was pretty sick. Hella fun.
Hell yeah.
There was yeah. I mean, JT's the kind of guy where he's not gonna fucking bitch about it, right? He would just like, all right, we're done. We hugged it out after. And people are like, what the fuck? I'm like, what?
We're fine.
chill.
It's okay.
We're done. It's over. You know? It's like it's just one of those things where if a practice ain't scrappy like that, bro, I ain't trying to be a part of it. You know? It's all about that. It's all about that competition that brings the best out of each other. For sure. Right? And sometimes a little bit of chirping. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's all I'm saying. But yeah. That was it.
Again, and every time Hatch says that, a little chirping, nothing wrong with that. Why does everyone think I'm mad all the time, guys? Why do refs keep throwing penalties at me? Like, buddy,
What?
outward perspective. Let's look in the mirror.
Whatever. I mean, I love a little bit of chirping. I think it keeps the fiery freshness out of everybody, you know? I love it.
I know you do.
You know?
There was some great examples from the NBA playoffs this last weekend. I saw a great clip of LeBron. Someone like came down. He thought it was a fucking foul. So instantly goes to the ref. He's like, what the fuck? That's a fucking penalty. Anthony Edwards is standing right there, kind of the star player for the team they're playing against. And he's just standing there and he's like, that's a tech. That's a tech. If I said it, that would be a tech. That's a tech. And in that moment, I saw every time Ryan Greenspan has gotten away with that, or every time like Marcelo's got away with it. And it's like, yeah, the rules aren't always fair, kids. All right, you're not fucking LeBron. You don't get to tell the ref that's a fucking penalty. Okay, so just go back to the pits and shut the fuck up. You're gonna save your team a lot more.
That's one thing that I noticed about reffing divisional paintball is everybody will fucking say that's a penalty. They will say
dude.
anything is a penalty just to try to get the flag pulled.
They were cracking down on that at Dub C. You said any word after you were shot, dude. Like it was on it, dude.
Good.
Yeah.
That's
The
how
one
it should
time
be.
I've seen them not throw that penalty at Dub C was the time when Danny got completely bamboozled by his team. I posted the reel of it, but Danny was playing with the Bloodhawks. He dives into the snake, clears the dude out of the snake.
Oh, I do remember that.
Sees him walk out of the fucking snake. His teammate's like, Danny, he's in the snake. Danny checks again. There's no one in the fucking snake. He's like, no, the snake is clear. Right as that happens, someone fills the fucking snake. And then so his two is like, oh, okay, go. And the second he comes out, shot right in the fucking thing. And then Danny, as he's walking out, is like, the snake is fucking hot. and obviously you can't be saying that. That's a pretty big giveaway. But Mike was standing right there, and like all the refs were like, oh shit, did we throw that? And everyone's just like, nah. Like, when you see the full context of what just happened, that's a very normal reaction.
Mike crosses his arm. He's like, all right, I get it. He understood that situation right there, because that is so relatable.
Helped his team, honestly. So yeah.
I mean, dude, that is one thing that is the worst. I remember one time Brando, he hits me with the "I got you," I trust him, and then I get fucking blasted.
You told the story 4 different times on the podcast.
I know. I have to reiterate.
Do you guys need to go to couples counseling for this moment in particular?
No, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Usually how couples counseling goes, Brandon.
I didn't get bunkered.
One-way street.
Yeah, I didn't get bunkered.
He just lets me get bunkered.
Yeah, we're fine. We're good.
No, it's okay. Cedar let me get bunkered like 3 times this weekend. It's okay.
See, told you. Hey, happen once, you learn.
Yeah, valid.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again or something like
that. Can't get fooled again. Yeah.
Can't fool a fooler. But yeah, boys. Okay, layout sounds fun. You guys looking forward to the weekend tournament? You got it coming up and going to Atlantic City, the shithole of America and the armpit of America.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't want to go to the beach because I saw some fucking syringes. I saw some syringes in the beach, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, fucked up.
That's what happens in New Jersey: drugs and shitty people.
But there are some good Philly cheesesteaks and some good ass corn dogs.
One day someone's gonna ask me why I don't like New Jersey, and my answer is not good enough. But fuck it. Until that day, I ride for fuck New Jersey. I'm not a New Jersey fan.
West Coast guy by heart.
They have one highway, and it smells like shit down the whole entire thing. Fuck your turnpike. Fuck New Jersey.
Yes, it does.
Fuck Ocean City in particular, honestly.
Ew.
Yeah, and that high school, that Ocean City High School. Fuck that.
Yeah, in Hillsborough. Fuck those 2 cities in particular.
So. Yeah, I have no idea why, but yeah, stack it.
We ride, boys.
Ride, boys. We ride until we die, boys.
Fuck Ocean City. But yeah, all right. We'll love that, boys. You guys gonna gamble at AC? You gonna hit the blackjack table, Hatch?
So last time we were there, Wong, we were playing roulette, and Wong, his mathematical strategy to roulette, he just seems to never fucking lose.
I mean, why'd you have to say it like that?
I'm just saying, it's accurate.
Okay, why'd you have to bring mathematics into it?
You could have just said
Evan Wong. It's gambling, Hatch. It has nothing to do with mathematics. Why? Fresno, man.
I'm telling you. He said it. He described it the exact same way. He's like, I have a certain strategy to it, to where even if you do lose, you lose minimal, and if you win, you lose a pretty decent amount. You were there, right, Brando?
Yeah, it's crazy that they let him. They let him
or roulette strategy.
No, it's crazy that they let him bring his bag and his Chinese calculator out, old school Chinese calculator. Yeah, his abacus. Just doing the numbers. This is this is it.
I'll never forget that night because they're sitting at the roulette table and Brando's like, "Hey, Hatch, you want one?" I'm like, "Sure." He pulls out one of those fucking lollipops that has like the scorpion or some shit in it. And I'm like, "Okay, hell yeah."
That's not what I thought I was saying yes to.
Dude, I take one lick. Something happens to where, I pull it out of the wrapper. I take one lick, falls out of my hands right on the ground of the casino floor. I'm like, oh.
It's like, hey,
bro, I was devastated.
What are the odds that you still eat that?
And I'm like, fuck, 1 through 20. I love playing What Are the Odds with the boys. I almost got hit with an ice cream that event, actually. That was when we were doing. Do you guys know like the odds game where it's like between 1 and 5, and then you guys got to count down. Someone's got to count down.
Yeah, this was when you and Caden both bought your T-shirts together, was it?
I bought a T-shirt
before you went on a helicopter tour with Caden.
Yeah, that shit was awesome.
That shirt around? Is it nearby?
I wore it pretty recently, so I'm pretty sure it's
no. Yeah, it's in the laundry. That's never.
The fact that he still wears it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Well, do you want to explain to the audience what that shirt says, Hatch?
Yeah. So I got a shirt in Atlantic City, and dude, we should have filmed it, bro. Where we go to a shirt store, and it was like, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20.
Oh yeah, hell yeah,
bro! I got that shirt. I put it on.
Wore it around the boardwalk, essentially the rest of the weekend. That was like his shirt,
dude. And so the guys would be like 20 feet behind me, right? So I would look like I was by myself. Dude, the reactions, people would like put their glasses down, and, like read it, like stare, fucking laser beams through my chest trying to read my shirt, bro. And some of the reactions we got would be so funny.
Hatch essentially wore like 2011 YouTuber merch in public. You know, like
Yeah.
the that you're supposed to buy and just wear at home because it's miserable and it says like, I don't know, something god awful on it, and yeah, he's just proudly in public. Look at me, guys.
Hell yeah,
I don't
dude.
have that problem today because I'm wearing a high quality First Form tee. You know, just want to give another shout out to the boys at First Form who are literally keeping me fucking alive right now because we're doing podcasts at goddamn the second I get off and I can't fucking eat. But yeah, shout out to First Form. Love you guys. Send us some more free shit. They actually just did. Energy drinks are great. Their fucking protein bars are great. Was organizing those today. Love them.
Nice.
But yeah, boys. So Atlantic City. Sounds like we're just gonna be some more chaos, some more memories. I'm a little depressed this event because Kyrgo is, I don't know how much I can say. They're currently working on a big project, and so because of that, they are not doing odds for this event. They're kind of limiting a lot of their stuff right now. So there, fortunately, will not be odds on Atlantic City Games, which makes me a little upset. It does work out though because I'm probably gonna be busy with some more work shit this weekend. We're uploading a whole back catalog of a podcast from one to another. It's taking forever. So it kind of works out. I won't have to be super invested like I would if I was trying to track bets and all that. But I'll definitely have the matches up in the background, listen to Maddie and on Go Sports and all that good stuff. As Brando said, it sucks not going to the events, but got to be an adult at some point in time.
Absolutely. No. And this is a perfect transition to one thing I wanted to talk about. I talked to Brando about it and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring this up. So FOMO, that is a huge thing that sometimes I will take my shower last at the Airbnb so I can hang out with my boys.
Yeah, we wait for each other.
Yep. We shower together.
Yeah.
Save water.
See, sorry, I could have gone many ways with that because Brandon has in fact at events showered with another human being. I will not say who on this podcast, so I will just let that be in your audience mind out there. It could have been Hatch.
It could have been, but it could not have been.
But Brandon also can't deny he has in fact showered with other human beings during paintball events. So, sorry, got you that one, buddy.
I mean,
I'll make the reference again, like sardines in a can.
Hatch, you're not helping, Hatch. You're not helping.
I'm not trying to help. I'm just trying to prove a point, I'm just trying to lay out the accurate lore before everybody's ears that's listening right now.
For Sacramento DMG, yeah.
Yes, the lore goes deep with us. But, okay, so, as I was saying, with FOMO, have you guys ever had LOMO, the love of missing out, where you're like, someone calls you and you're like, oh, dude, let's go do this, and you're like, ooh, kind of don't really want to do that. I'm gonna stay home tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, every time Anthony texts me to play Magic, bro.
No way, bro.
No, I'm joking.
I was like, what?
He just kicks the shit out of me, and I'm like, God damn this motherfucker. I hate Ant, but I also love him.
I remember my boys were trying to get me to go to Super Game. I think it was last year, and I ended up not being able to go for one reason or another. But it completely rained out last year, and it was just a big mud bog. And I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't go to to that.
Definitely. Yeah. So that was a sense of LOMO right there. You're like, I'm loving that I'm missing out.
Yeah, I love that I'm at Cap Edge playing fives with the boys right now. Like, this is sick.
Oh yeah.
It is funny to me that those events are definitely the ones that when you aren't there, you're like, oh yeah, it's cool that I missed that one. That was shitty weather and everything, but those are also some of the best memories I have of events because it's
type
not the shit that's it's exactly what it is. It's type 2 fun. It's not. It was miserable at the time, but those memories are some of the best ones. Like Alex Sorensen, we had him on the pod. That horrible day in Chicago where everything was miserable and muddy is where we met each other and became friends now. And it's cool to have those moments as well. I've talked about it with 40 Media, but my theory is the reason why Media are all great friends is because we just are all trauma bonded together. We have to go through the same environments as everyone else, but we're also getting shot. We also can't really do anything about it. We all understand the grind that it is because it's not easy. It's not it's not a very fun thing to do, but there is enjoyment in it, and a lot of us enjoy it for different reasons. But yeah, so it's funny because I look back on those events and I would have not wanted to miss any of those. Looking in hindsight, I guess more of my LOMO stuff would be I don't know, someone calls you and they're like, hey man, game night tonight. You want to come over and play game night with everyone? And I'm like, dude, I'm single. I don't want to go be a 12th wheel tonight, but okay, I'll bring some hard AFs and fucking cause chaos.
Oh, hell yeah. That sounds like a great time, actually.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm learning. Welcome to being fucking in your mid-20s. You sometimes get invited to a thing called game night. If you don't have a spouse or a partner, game night is a bunch of fucking bullshit, my man.
I agree. You're getting double teamed by every couple that's around the fucking table.
It makes you feel more single than any other fucking environment you can be in. So yeah, don't do that, guys. Save yourselves that one.
I agree. And plus, if they're playing board games, what the fuck are you doing, bro? When someone say, "Oh yeah, we're playing board games," I go, "Nah, dude. I think my mom is sick."
Defend board games because you're getting very close to attacking Magic right now. Like we are so
whoa, that's a card game. That's different. That's different.
Stopping this. Don't attack board games. It's cool to play things on paper with your friends. That's very cool to do.
But no, people are like, let's play dominoes. I'm like, bro, hell no. You know.
But what kind of dominoes? Not the ones that you stack and you push over.
See, now Brandon feels like he's catching strays.
Fuck you, Brando. Fuck you, Brando.
Hey, let me have my Monopoly, all right? Fuck you.
The only kind of board games that I like actually enjoy playing with my friends are like Cards Against Humanity, like those type of games where they're like, you know.
I will say, if you guys haven't played Jackbox in a long ass time, you should do so. In a large environment, it actually is a lot of fun. It's essentially just like a group of like games that people can. You like connect your phone to it so you can like answer questions or like draw shit or like do different funny things on there. It could be a lot of fun with a group of people. So that would be my one recommendation to come out of there.
I just miss the good old days of System Link playing Halo 2 and Halo 3. To be real with you, that's what I miss more than anything is but going to my boy's house with an Xbox and a TV. We're carrying it over to the house, have this round table, we're all hooked up playing together. That's the shit.
Yeah, I was sadly like right after LAN parties, but that's why I said users enter your channel because I was in Vent and TeamSpeak and like, dude, those sounds are it. Because every time someone would join your TeamSpeak server, a fucking female voice would come on and say, "User has entered your channel. User has left your channel. User has muted themselves." As you're trying to fucking clutch in CSGO and you've got all this shit going on because your friends are fucking with you. Yeah, Discord's way better. I'm glad we moved on from TeamSpeak.
Yeah, and it's funny. So with Halo 2, I just started playing Halo 2 with my girlfriend.
Oh,
and
hell
she's
yeah.
never played that one, right? So she's like, this is fucking
Wait,
sick.
wrong.
Not on Legendary, right?
She can't handle Legendary.
Right? First time.
She can't
Halo
handle
2 is
Legendary,
the
bro.
worst Legendary, dude, because that skull was
I
on
agree.
where you did your
Yeah,
friend
Lasso.
dies. Yeah,
Legendary,
dude.
all
Bro.
spells on. Good
Dude,
luck.
let me
It
tell
sucks.
you, dude.
Have
That
no
is
fun.
one of my biggest feats. Is I've
You
done
wanna know where
Lasso
your
on
gun
every
is?
Halo except
you
for
can't see
except for
it
5.
anymore.
Round of
Are you
applause
running
from
a
me,
fuel
bro.
rod launcher? You're about
Dude.
to kill all your friends.
Bro, during
I remember my Canadian friend, bro.
during the big C that happened in 2020, we were stuck at the house, and my sister had to come back from college at that time. And I remember one thing that we did during that time is we beat every Halo on Legendary, and we forgot Halo 2 had that skull on it. And dude, like I'm telling you, like Halo 2 on Legendary was the only reason my blood got flowing during COVID, dude. Like that is so stressful, dude. Like
I agree.
like,
you like have to know the spawns
Dude.
from these fucking jackal snipers, bro. You have to.
Bro, that's the
like if you don't, you're done.
No, you're done. You got to know when you walk into the first corridor. There's 2 in the right, 2 in the front.
I'm pre-aiming, like going straight up.
Exactly.
It's so bad,
exactly, bro. And then of course, like you try to like run through a hall, and it's just immediate headshot.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's funny. My girlfriend's not bad at video games, but it's funny, right? She's a girl, right? So I'm fucking fucking fighting with a BR, and then she just gets splattered by ghosts right in front of me. I'm like, all right, let me back up, let me get her back in. But yeah, so I love Halo LAN parties, dude.
Dude.
I got to play Halo 3 LAN parties. Whew.
nothing beats
love that
the
shit.
like, dude. I miss like the shit talking, like, dude, the banter back and forth, like, dude, I live for that. Like playing the game and just you're talking smack to your boy, he's getting red hot, like, dude, like, I mean, all of my older jerseys had 117 as the number, But yeah,
Yup.
dude.
Fuck yeah.
So you understand it.
No, dude,
You
I-
So it's
understand
funny,
it.
Chewy, you brought up right there one of my favorite parts of esports, and particularly one of my favorite parts of COD esports. I don't play COD really anymore. Like, when they drop, I'll check them out for, a couple weeks, see what's going on. But COD esports is one of the best shit-talking leagues I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I was gonna get into it, talk about it a little bit later on, anyways. But there was a major this last weekend. It wasn't from that event, but that clip I posted of Shotzi like a couple months ago. After they win champs, he literally stands up, looks at the other team, points at them, and says, "You are fucking dog shit," in front of 20,000 people who are screaming his name. NXL, stop throwing fucking penalties on pros. Let them talk their fucking shit. It is more
So
entertaining
amusing.
when you have a scrap who is literally calling you a fucking wasteless human as you are trying to beat him, and he is the fucking great player and you can't. It adds fucking so much to the game. There's a reason why I'm giving a fucking shit about WWE now. All right, the main reason is because they're talking shit, and that makes it fucking-taining. All right.
The hype.
Really,
Dude, it's so
when I was a
good.
kid, I did not give a single fuck about wrestling. I watched Wrestle fucking Mania. All right, I'm not
Micro
the
wrestling,
target
too.
demographic, but I'm now getting invested into this shit. I do know someone personally in it, so that helps, but also it's good. There's a reason it's worked for 40 years, because it's simple. Human beings like drama. You want people to make drama? Don't penalize them if they decide to open up their hopper lid and dump paintballs on the fucking field, Tom Cole. God, that is my fucking... This is the rule change you made that pissed me off the single most, dude. You want to get rid of the storylines in the sport. We're also growing the sport at the same exact time. I don't give a single fuck about Hertz or a single small little sponsor who's like, oh, it's not good, I don't like that. You know who has a lot of sponsors? WWE, because Bud Light doesn't give a fuck that someone just threw a chair at someone. 60 million people are watching the fucking broadcast.
We should get chairs and paintball for sure.
damn
Now.
it.
Oh, dude, we should get chairs, dude. We'd be throwing
We
them
should get
every
chairs and
Sunday, dude.
paintball. Definitely. Okay. So speaking of esports trash talking, I don't know. I forgot. I think it was college esports, and it was COD. It was this one where this guy's like, "Your college flew you out to play me and lose twice." Oh my god, that was
That's
nasty,
I think it's
bro.
some challengers potentially, but yeah,
I
he's
think
like,
so.
You come down here.
Yeah.
You have brought a team here to lose to me.
Yeah,
And
to
it just
lose to
adds
me.
so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goddamn. I mean,
Makes
I
me want to
was
follow
watching
that
the
guy's
tournament.
story.
Yeah.
I was watching the tournament this last weekend. We'll talk about it a little more. There's a couple stories I want to talk about from it. But dude, when 100T gets their win and half of it is jumping up happy and the other half is also like, yeah, fuck you, but it's like, that's hype. I love
Yeah, I
that.
agree,
You know,
bro.
Absolutely.
I've said it to you guys 1,000 times, but one of my favorite moments ever is when Formal and Scump absolutely lose their goddamn minds because they beat a team they weren't supposed to. Scump literally throws his fucking headphones off because he's shaking his head so much. That shit is hype. Let the boys talk their shit. Rant over. Let's talk about this tournament though, because obviously we're Optic fans over here. We're Optic fanboys.
Hell yeah.
Optic got fucking dog walked. They look like complete fucking dog shit right now. They lost 3-0 in their first Winners Series match. They went down to the losers bracket. They were able to win their first game in losers bracket. But then FaZe were also in the losers bracket, so they lost to FaZe 3-0 as well.
What? Damn.
Yeah, it's not looking good. There was some moments where those individual players looked like themselves. The team chemistry is not there. It's not going to go well. But out of all of this, the one thing that made me sad was realizing as I was watching Optic lose to FaZe, if FaZe wins, it is a good thing. Because FaZe winning means more FaZe playing, which means more of Samuel Bennett All In Media taking shots of FaZe on that grand stage. Can we guys talk about our boy Sam Bennett All In Media, nominated for Photographer of the Year last year? He's made
I
a
love
step
Sam.
into
Me and him
COD
go way back.
esports,
Oh, Sam's
and
great.
he is taking over the scene over there. He had a whole bunch of awesome photos of the commentators and all this stuff, but he's doing media for these events. There was a point when FaZe were playing, I saw him on stage and I was like, Samuel, hey, buddy.
I know that guy.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think that's the other thing that's making me love that series more too, is knowing that like Sam's into it. I was texting him about the matches like as we were going, and he's like, "Oh fuck, face dropped to losers. I had to like scramble my day and get all these extra photos and everything just in case they lost." And I was like, "Oh damn, man." But yeah, man, I'm loving COD this year. It has been seriously a great year for the COD competitive scene, whether you are, just like an Optic fan or not. As I mentioned, 100 Thieves got their win, so Nate Shot, he was able to watch his org finally get a dub for the first time in quite a while. They put together a revamped roster this year, and they've been, slowly putting it together. It was funny, one of their guys, I want to say it was Ghosty. I may be wrong on that, but sorry if I am, because it's not a great stat. In their last match, this man was getting carried. It was hard point. He was essentially just throwing his body at the hard point. I think at one point in time, he was 3-12 in a pro final, and his team was winning because Scrap was frying, fucking a couple other teammates. Guys, like they were destroying everyone. So it was like any engagement he had was kind of a shit engagement as he's defending the point. But dude, do you know how bad that must feel to be in a pro finals and you're just getting shit on, but you look around and you're like, well, we're winning. I mean, we are up 3-0. We win this map. We win the fucking final. You're just like, it's such a weird, polarization of like, personally, I am doing horrible, but this is success. We are doing good things.
Me when I'm building pods. I'm like, good shit, guys. Hell yeah. Put it up. Hey, you want it to lit up or down? Letting him know.
Yeah.
Hey, can I top that off for you, buddy? You need some air?
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny to think about that. The Thieves won, but they had who's on their team? Shit.
They have Dashy, right?
Sorry, no, not Thieves.
Scrap,
they have Envoy,
Ghosty,
Scrap, Ghosty,
Envoy,
and Hydra.
Yeah.
And to think that Optic had both Ghosty and Envoy. It's like, what the fuck?
Pred, and fucking Kenny, and fucking dude, the list of ex-Optic players goes on forever at this point because they cannot figure that roster out. It's making me sad, bro. I just want to see Optic do well again. And then also, we talked about a little bit on the pod, but all the controversy with fucking Pred, getting dropped out of nowhere, then getting back on the team, then Hugh getting dropped, and then getting picked back up, and yeah, it has been a nightmare season for the boys down in Texas. But other than that, it really has been an entertaining Call of Duty. I've been watching a lot. We've had some Seattle Surge, which is kind of, they were always a middle pack team. They've really stepped it up this year. They were in that finals versus 100 Thieves. So it was cool to see some kind of newer players come into the scene. Toronto Ultra had an amateur sub step in for them at, I think it was Thursday night was the first day. I think it was Tuesday night he got the call that they needed a sub. Beans get some visa situation or something. He couldn't get to the tournament. So imagine you've been playing challengers for 3 years, and all of a sudden you get called up to go be on a 4-man roster, and then you're able to bring that team to losers finals. This is a pretty good run for the kid. So he did himself. That's always got to be an insane spot to step in on such short notice and gel with the team. A lot of people don't think about it, but Call of Duty has a lot of plays in it, man. You're trying to play Search and Destroy in the Pro Division at this point, and you have 2 days to practice with the team. That is so incredibly hard to figure out how they want to play the tempo of a map, what kind of set pieces they have, the nades and flashes they have off spawn. Yeah, I love esports. I really do. It's just some of the most entertaining shit that exists on this planet.
Do you consider esports a real sport?
What's up?
Do you consider esports a real sport?
Yeah. I don't think there's any reason not to. Obviously, I'm younger, so my opinion on that's always going to be different. I guarantee if you ask my dad, he probably says no.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a generational thing.
Yeah, but I also think at the same time, it's not fucking easy to do those things. It's not easy to be the best in the world at something. And so when you look at a guy like Faker, who's done it 5 different times in League of Legends, that dude's a fucking GOAT. You can't talk shit about him because obviously he's gotten to the best point at whatever the thing is he's wanted to get to be the best at and done it 5 different times. That's GOAT shit. That's MJ shit. That's LeBron type shit. It's just he didn't do it in a sport that people are openly celebrating, at least in our country. Because I'll say this, Korea does
they go crazy.
Esports is bigger. Korean baseball is kind of a thing, but there's not many traditional sports there. Esports has always been one of the biggest ones since like the StarCraft Brood War days way back in the day.
Definitely. Dufort, what's your favorite game of all time?
Video game?
Yep, of all time.
No, it has to be Halo. Specifically, if I had to choose one Halo out of all of them, it's probably Halo 2. Just because I think Halo 2 is the greatest campaign of any video game shooter, first-person shooter,
good.
in my opinion. One of the best.
I don't. The remaster of it.
I would say like a game series, definitely that. But like I gotta say, like I think Fallout New Vegas is probably one of the best games ever made. Period. Just because like of everything you can do in that game. My coworker Sam is super into Fallout. He has like literally a New Vegas sleeve. But
sick.
Like, bro, he like I always kind of played Fallout, but not really. But like, just hearing him talk about it, and like, you know, because I'm like, dude, this dude has tattoos of it. It has to be good. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? Like, I remember playing Fallout, but very surface level, because I'm used to Halo, just a linear like shoot him and stuff him sort of game, you know. But like playing a game and realizing like, oh, you could play this game like 700 different ways. like
yeah,
I went through and played New Vegas a bunch of times. I
have a friend Kyle who really likes to mod like Skyrim, Fallout, those type of games, and so like hearing his experiences of just getting way too high and exploring the world of Fallout, it sounds insane. You know, like it's like I want those experiences for myself, but I don't live in Georgia.
Yeah,
so.
like right now I'm doing a whole playthrough in Fallout New Vegas where I can't shoot a gun. I have to only use melee weapons through the whole game, and it is so much fun, bro. Like, literally just going around, super selection, pools in the Mojave. It's great, dude.
You're missing out on the whole gun runners, though. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know, but I've never done a Legion playthrough, so unfortunately I'm doing a Legion playthrough.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's fair then. Yeah, if you've never done one, it's worth it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I feel it feels wrong doing a Legion playthrough, though. Like, it feels wrong, but, you know.
That's fucking awesome.
When I got into Fallout, I had a friend, my best friend and gaming buddy, going through high school and everything, went over once, and I just watched him. He's like, oh, you know, turn on this game, watching him walk through Fallout 3, and I just like sat down, and I was like, whoa,
it's immersive,
this is
bro.
Amazing. Yeah. Anytime it gets cloudy and rainy, because it was cloudy and rainy that day. Yeah. Anytime it gets cloudy and rainy, it's like I just want to go play Fallout.
Dude, yes, 100%. I feel you, bro.
I remember I was in middle school, and I remember like my gaming buddy at school telling me about Fallout 3, because like I didn't like, I don't know, I didn't hear about it or something.
That wasn't on your radar at the time.
Yeah, I was in like 6th grade, so I wasn't totally there yet. I was still just a cothead. But he was like explaining it to me, and I was like, he was trying to explain like the bombs dropping, and I was like, oh, so like a couple cities got bombed. And he's like, no, like the world gets bombed. And I was like, okay, so like a majority of America gets bombed. And he's like, no, it's like 100 per every city. Like, it is an insane amount. I was like, I don't understand it. But yeah, and then it was funny because I remember having that kid thing where you start imagining it, and like then it gets all, you know, built up in your head, and then you finally see gameplay, and you're like, okay, well, it's kind of like what I thought it was. That's cool. And then yeah, that was like my first time ever hearing about Fallout. But man, those games, they really are fucking good.
Dude, it's the whole
such a great universe.
It's the whole like futuristic 50s aesthetic. I love it so much, dude. Like, it's just so.
Yeah, I think it's called like retro futurism.
Yeah,
I love that vibe. Dude. I love that vibe.
Shit. Anything like that, I'm stuck. I'm hooked, bro. Immediately.
Put me in.
One of the things to me that took like, you know, obviously gamers, we've known that aesthetic, and we've known how good that Fallout universe and lore is for such a long time. All the vaults, the vault tech shit, like, dude, it's great. What sold me and what finally kind of made me realize, like, no, games have some of the best narrative devices in the world is when the TV show came out. And when the whole world was like, you
bandwagon
playing this shit's cool. And I'm like, yeah, motherfuckers, like, where have you been? So seeing that they finally got it in a medium they can enjoy, and even they were like, whoa, this is really interesting and cool and awesome, and yeah, so and I did like with the series too, like seeing the voice of Mr. Hansy and like little things that, like,
dude, it's so
you know, if
good.
you played the game, you definitely are like, I see what you're doing there, you know, you're doing the thing.
It's like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme was like,
exactly,
he's like on the couch. I love that shit.
Hey, since we're talking about Fallout, because Fallout came about in our conversation this weekend, Hatch.
Yep.
I remembered what wasn't invented in Fallout for it to for everything to be ran on mini nuclear reactors.
Mini nuclear fission reactors, yeah.
Yeah, but it was the vacuum tubes. Right.
Because they didn't have control boards, right? Like PCBs.
Yeah. So everything had to be big and bulky. So it was just really cool. I couldn't remember it, and finally able to find it, Hatch. So now you know.
Okay. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. You kept me on a cliffhanger, and I'm like, bro,
it was bugging me. I went on for like 10 minutes about talking about Fallout. I was like, I can't remember exactly what was, but you gotta understand. Yeah.
No, but fun video game thing. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna last thing about Fallout real quick. I can't wait for season 2. Very much excited for that. Ella Purnell is mommy, so fucking love that. Can't wait for that. It's gonna be great.
I can't wait for the new season.
We're
but
going
also,
to New Vegas, by the way. That's why I'm talking about it.
That's why I'm so hyped about it. To be real, like New Vegas is my shit. I love it, bro. But I'm really excited for the remaster of Fallout 3 that is gonna happen. I'm really excited about that. But one fun video game thing that I did recently.
Actually, Go ahead. I'm not, because I want fucking Bethesda to make something fucking new.
I feel it.
God
I feel
damn. It. All right, we finished putting Skyrim on fucking refrigerators. Here's what we're gonna make next: a remaster of Oblivion.
Hey man, the Pope died for that. The Pope died for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. All right, JD Vance actually killed the Pope. He didn't die for Oblivion.
I
it has
agree
nothing
with
to do
you.
with it.
I agree.
But
Dave Skylark, nice to meet you.
Bethesda, make something fucking new. All right, that's all I want from you.
I'm a kid from the '90s, so I'm a nostalgia whore, dude. Like, bro, give me that nostalgia.
Amen, brother.
Give me that nostalgia.
So I agree, and there's a lot of things I'm nostalgic for. It gets to a point though where you have to make new things in life. Like literally since the year 2012, Bethesda Game Studios has made 2 new games, and that was Starfall and Fallout 76 in 13 years. Damn. That's what they've done.
They've got to be working on something special.
About 17 times, and now they've remastered Oblivion. So,
man,
like,
I will say, Oblivion is a true remaster, though. That's like a true remaster.
That's what
it's not like It's not like Skyrim is like Skyrim is like,
they just
hey,
dumb it down
now
and
you
put
can
it onto other things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, now you can run it at 57 frames per second. Nice. But it's like Oblivion is completely brand new. It looks so sick.
I know, but here's the thing, Hatch. It's not completely brand new, because the second I saw someone fight that giant rat in the dungeon as you're spawning in, I'm like, I've done this when I was fucking 12.
I think it just, because it looks like when I was a kid looking at it, it looks like what I perceived it as when I was a kid. Now that it's remastered.
Hatch, the other thing too, I don't hate the Oblivion remaster. That's not where my problem is. My problem is with the Bethesda Game Studios not making anything.
You should seriously send him a fucking strongly worded email, bro. No joke.
Strong worded, dude.
Dear Todd Howard,
CC
I would
me on
like
that.
for you to fucking do something.
Please.
Exclamation point, thank you from the sidelines.
Oh, dude. Let's go. I like that, actually.
No, I mean, look, Hatch, you're right, all right? Fucking, I get it. But I will say, we have lived through a period of time where essentially every big game, like not game studio, but entertainment property is just a recreation of something that was made before.
Bro, I agree.
I'm fucking done with it, dude.
With the shit where it's like Days Gone being remastered and The Last of Us being remastered fucking 50 times. What the hell?
Wait,
nobody cares.
Was Days Gone wasn't a remaster?
Yep, it just got remastered.
Oh, okay. It just got remastered.
It just got remastered, and it's like, bro, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, and like, don't get me wrong, Last of Us is an amazing game. And same thing, when they made a show out of it, people are like, whoa, this is a really cool story. Again, I played it when I was 11. And like, yes, when I see it again and I'm like, oh, they remastered it. Oh, I watched some of the gameplay. Oh, that's so cool. It looks great.
It still looked good back then. Graphics weren't even a problem.
But that's not even the point I'm making. The point I'm making is it doesn't make you ever feel like you're doing something new in life. Like, I feel like I am still doing the same 3 entertainment properties I've, played since I was 12 years old.
Okay. Like, which ones?
Like fucking Call of Duty, fucking
CS?
Yeah, throw CS in there. But even past those, like, the big game properties today are what? World of Warcraft still has a huge fan base. Fucking
League.
Yeah, League, which is like a 10-year-old, 13-year-old mod of a Warcraft 3 mod. Fucking Dota, same exact position, same type of game.
Not my style.
I mean, fuck, like even Halo 5. Okay, what is that? That's just a recreation of Halo. Like,
I have
dude,
strong
it really
opinions
feels like a
on this.
majority of,
I would love to
games
hear those
are
strong
just
opinions.
I have
remasters.
strong opinions on the new Halos. Dude.
I mean, shit. Well, now I want to know.
Dude, it's
Cool,
I
I
don't.
watched Halo competitive for the first time ever last week.
Yeah, this is lining up perfectly with our lore.
So
I like this.
For me personally, and call me an angry old guy, I guess, but like, dude, like,
Unk.
I feel like putting like jetpacks and armor abilities in Halo it's just I don't feel like that. Like, yeah, that's Halo. Like Halo 2 and
Even
3.
Halo Reach?
Tag.
See,
That's Nunk Tag.
I wasn't.
Because the other thing you got to remember, it's not Bungie. So
No,
it's not
and-
Halo. It
and-
will never be the
and-
original trilogy of Halo.
And I 100%. But what upsets me the most is the way that they went in the campaign. I'm just not a fan of how it's going. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just doesn't feel like I'm playing Halo. You know what I mean?
and
Personally.
valid.
So it's
100% of that criticism comes from Bungie deciding we don't really want to work on this anymore, and Microsoft being like, this makes us too much money, someone's going to make it.
the fact that I
3-4
can't
studios, here
play
you go.
co-op split screen. The fact that I can't play co-op split screen on the newer Halos makes me want to throw something, dude. Like I don't know if that's just because me and my sister grew up playing the co-op campaigns, but I feel like that's a staple
what it is, though.
of those games. It's a staple.
So, but what you're saying is a staple of games from the 2000s.
Yeah.
Not just of Halo.
I mean, you're right.
I
yeah.
played multiple games
co-op.
on split
Miss Army
screen,
of
you know,
Two.
trying not
Bro.
to cheat as we were playing 1v1 or something like that. Like, but dude, Mario Kart back in the day, we played split screen.
Yeah.
It's just nowadays it's so much more of an expectation that every player has their own, you know, device and platform to play said thing on. So instead of needing to use the same hardware to split it up, couch co-op for that reason doesn't really exist anymore because they just assume you're going to want to play it online with your friends.
And
Which I don't fully agree with that either,
Yeah,
but those are
no.
at least the reasons why they are doing it.
Couch co-op is I feel like that's the cool part about video games, you know what I mean? It's like sitting there with your boy playing co-op, you know? I don't know, like to me that's what's cool about it, you know? Maybe that's just because that's how I grew up playing it, you know? But that's why I think like Halo's kind of lost its like I don't want to say it's magic, but like dude, like for me Halo CE 2, 3 and ODST will always be the best ones. And like dude, like
No Reach?
I think ODST is far better than Reach personally, in my opinion.
That's
I love
interesting.
Halo 3
Different game in
ODST
general.
is one of my favorite video games of all time. I don't know why people hate on it so much. Like I get it. See,
I love that game. I'm playing it with one of my
The main
friends.
reason is because you're not a Spartan.
I
Because
respect
that
it.
changes
Yeah,
so much of what being Halo is.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, well, see, that's kind of why I like it because it's a different. You're viewing the universe from a perspective of an ODST and not a Spartan. You know what I
From the
mean?
Marines that you used to fucking shoot for fun in your missions, now you
Yeah.
can be one of them.
Yeah,
It's not so fun,
exactly.
is it?
I mean, dude, like
when you're in the Marines sitting down and they're like, hey, the ship's going down, and Master Chief is standing there holding on to something, and it's like, well, I'm about to fucking die.
I think what Halo Reach did probably better than a lot of them is tell a really in-depth story. Halo Reach's storyline and like, you know, it's not a spoiler for a fucking like
We
15-year-old
referenced the
game,
end
but
of
like,
that
dude,
game. Like we've made multiple
Yeah.
references to the end of that game on this podcast,
Oh,
and
bro.
like you just said, it's a 15-year-old game. Like
But-
that should
And it's
tell
one
you
of
how
the greatest
good
of all
narrative
time,
Dude,
device
yeah,
was.
honestly.
yeah, like, dude, I remember. I will never forget playing Reach for the first time, and like, when your
fuck.
teammates started dying off, bro, it felt like you were losing a friend, dude. I was like, 'cause that
100%.
doesn't happen in those games, so you're like,
Spartans
bro,
don't die. You've never
It doesn't
seen a
happen in
Spartan
any
die
games
until
really
No!
where you fucking lose like that. Like you were like the entire time it was like loss. It's like, hey, we take one step forward by like blowing up that one huge facility, then boom, they just do a fucking laser from their super sky ship. It's like, what the fuck?
And I think you guys just glanced over the reason why. Because in Halo, you've never seen a Spartan die until Reach.
Yeah,
For
never
sure.
once
Yeah, you're
talked
right.
about, because you're always playing as Chief, who's like the last Spartan, and as he's the main character, he's not dying until he goes into his cryo sleep. But it's always seen as these guys are infallible, fucking
Heroes,
Dude.
yeah,
gods
nothing
almost.
can stop these guys. And then you see 5 die in the course of like 4 hours,
Bro.
and you're just like, what the fuck?
I'm ready. How about you? I fucking think about that shit every day.
And then that's the thing too, they all fucking go out in just amazing ways, which also shows you
They
what
did cat dirty,
Spartans
bro.
are.
They did cat
and, like,
so
the
fucking
people
dirty.
that they are.
They did her so dirty, bro.
Yeah,
That
we
one
didn't talk
hurt.
about that one.
I have that. We
You
opened
also-
up my.
You also
the Halo
realize she
packs.
dies like that because she was the sniper, right? They all died in the.
Jun was the
expertise
sniper. That
they
makes
had.
no sense. Jun was the
Shit,
sniper. Jun was the sniper, the olive green guy.
I literally have the Halo Reach box in my garage. I literally just saw it today, grabbing something with the statue inside of it, like the big square one. Yeah, bro. Oh, dude, look what I got right here. Keep that thing on me, dude.
Yeah, we hit those. We hit those.
Yeah, dude, it's all,
I like
it's all
that.
about the tin.
Let it be known. Let it be known as much of a fan Hatch is of Halo. It's not in his top 5. So
I didn't think of it
I
at the
asked him
time.
that on this podcast, and he did not mention Halo.
Really?
I talk about it so often, it must have slipped my mind. So I guess forever it's not on the list.
It's at
number
such the
6.
top. He has a whole nother list for the games below it.
Oh,
Yeah, valid.
Yeah. That's what
He's got my back.
That's what happened there. You just gotta understand it.
He gets the enigma.
Yeah.
He gets it.
It's just so high above.
No
Hey.
one will ever understand it. All right,
My
well,
guy.
Brandon, we've got, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes left. Do you want to talk about nanobots?
yeah. Yep. And
Nanobot
so
technology? I don't know where this is going either, audience.
No, me and Brandon were going pretty in depth on this.
So this kind of stemmed into the Fallout talk as well. So Hatch, how did you prompt it? You asked me a question of what like what's the next major advancement, right? For us.
Oh, the next generation. Like, what is the next generation going to do that is going to make the next advancement?
Yeah, and
It's AI, by the way.
For
AI,
sure.
maybe.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I was saying AI.
and
Well, not AI, it's an AGI, which is a artificial general intelligence, which essentially is just a human that is a computer, and that's what every AI company is working towards, because the first one that develops one will be rich beyond their wildest dreams.
whoa, big talk. But sorry, I'm copying pasting. So this came up, and we were talking
World's
about
slowest copy and paster, Brandon.
shut up. And I talked about something like it's being so incredibly small that would be invented.
Yep.
And Hatch brought up like nanobots or whatever, and then in my mind, like I went to this, but he brought it up first. It was these tiny little robots invented by this guy that he was inspired
It's
by
Korean,
ants.
by the way. I feel like that needs to be mentioned.
What do you mean by that? Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just that he's smarter than all of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where you were taking that, Brandon. But can keep talking about the micro robots that I'm watching reconnect a circuit together right now.
They're
What the
tiny
fuck?
robots. Yeah, they're magnetic micro robots that
That's
ants
terrifying.
inspired him. You're right. They're operating by themselves, moving stuff. I believe he made it for what was it to help blockages in blood vessels.
Oh,
right?
whoa.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll go in your fucking veins and dismantle whatever clot is right there.
Oh,
And they
that's
like
crazy.
collapse in on each other and will like throw each other. Like, say if it can't get up a surface, it will throw a single one and then pull the rest up. It is insane.
Yep.
And it's like they are just moving such small items with such precision. And man, dude, it was
Brandon,
so
this
insane.
is just a symbiote. That's all this is.
Yeah, he's ever seen
Someone just
Big Hero
made
6?
a symbiote.
You ever seen that movie Big Hero 6? There's a
Venom.
concept that is basically exactly like this, like the
No, I didn't watch
nanobots.
Big
A little
Hero
bit,
6.
little bit not as cool as like
I
these
give a
ones
fuck
where they
about
like
the
shrink
big
and stuff.
giant mushroom character.
Baymax, bro, watch your mouth, bro.
I don't give a
Baymax
single
is
shit.
awesome.
Doug is the
Baymax
best
is
Pixar
awesome.
character, and I'll fight anyone for that ever.
Who?
Who?
Doug. The dog from Up.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and his name's not even D-O-U-G, it's D-U-G, because all the dogs are named after the thing that they did when Charles finally fucking got him and he was digging, so he named him Doug. Fuck y'all.
Damn. Dude, it's good that we're getting this Pixar lore. I needed this. You know, lore, for when I get my Laura Connor cards.
Motherfucker, all right?
Yeah.
You're at a $4 card flex to your face like that? Yeah,
you would like that. You would like this one, Dufort. Check this one. Check this card out.
Oh, hell yeah. That's sick.
Yeah, he pulled that on the pod, actually.
That's actually super cool. Like, it's see-through, CE. Yeah, that's sick.
Sick. I had a couple really rare ones, too.
Camo. That's the name of that variant. It's pretty cool.
So, okay. One quick thing. This internet trend that's been going on, I want to know what you guys' opinion on.
We were talking about robots, Hatch.
Oh, my bad. Thought we're moving on. Go ahead, Brando. Keep going.
No, I mean, it was just...
Thought we were done.
What, I mean, pretty much, right?
We honestly talked about it for 2 minutes, and then you started talking about another topic. I get there's probably not much more to talk about, but, like, that's a little ADHD.
Nanobots is scary, dude, because, like, what if somebody hacks into those things and they do something bad? You know what I mean? Like,
dude, Black Ops 2, bro, Wood said it best. What happens when someone steals the keys?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. We've already survived the beginning of Black Ops 2.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's
what if they're like, hey, nanobots, attack all the fucking humans? What the fuck is gonna happen then?
I mean, bro, like that's not to be a nerd or nothing, but like that's what.
How are you stopping those? How are you stopping those?
These conversations are always as funny and pointless to me as like, how do we stop zombies? It doesn't matter, because if it happens,
we can easily stop zombies.
Like, it's already over.
We can easily. I think we could definitely stop zombies.
This is the funniest thing to me when people think, like, you watch, 28 Days Later and you think you're going to be the dude who's waking up out of a coma. No, you're going to be a dead fucking body.
Well, it actually depends on what kind of zombies we have.
Happens.
Yeah, that's
28 Days Later zombies. You're dead.
Ooh,
that one's a little hard. I think 28
zombies.
days. That's up there, right? Like, there's like the Walking Dead zombies. I think we'd be World War Z zombies are in a category of their own, so where you are just
easiest
fucked.
Shit in humanity. Those are not a problem.
If it's World War Z zombies, you're done. Because I'm not trying to inject myself with AIDS to be fine from zombies, bro. Are you kidding me? That is a horrible trade-off.
Well, technically, it doesn't need to be AIDS. It just needs to be a deadly virus. So you could get, like, tuberculosis or something and have, good 20 years.
Dude, that's the shit that killed Arthur Morgan. Hell no.
No, yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
Hell no, bro.
He was 60, right? He was like 50. I don't know.
He was like...
Jack
he did
was
have a kid
like
when
20.
he died.
Jack was like 20, right?
What? You're thinking of John Marston.
John, right?
John Marston had a kid, Jack. Arthur Morgan is the one who died from tuberculosis.
Yeah, what the fuck ever. I don't give a shit.
That's crazy, bro. My heart.
But it's so fun to do, Hatch. It's so easy to do, to trigger you about the things that you love most in life, because you do it to me, and so I have to get it back at you.
Amen, brother.
But
Amen.
Fucking wasn't there a dude in Red Dead 1, Dutch or something, right? There's a guy like Von Dutch or something. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption or Red Dead Redemption, I think, just the regular one.
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah.
Dutch Vanderlyn, that was his name.
Yeah, okay.
Just had to make sure. But okay, are we done talking about micro robots?
I guess so, Hatch.
Sure.
Okay. Now I got a question for you guys. Do you guys think that this is like has the internet split down the middle? I've seen arguments on both sides. Do you guys think 100 men can take out one fully grown like alpha gorilla, like silverback gorilla? 100 men.
No weapons.
No weapons. 100 men.
Yes.
What kind of men are we talking about? Are we talking about like
squirrels killing us before, Hatch? Yes, 100 of anything could get it done. No, but that's the point I'm making. 100 able-bodied men, they are stronger than that gorilla. Does the gorilla still have a chance? Damn right. But
he's taking a lot.
Yes.
I think the gorilla definitely has a good chance of killing everybody.
Yes, but you also got to think about this. Humans are smart enough to actually understand how to work together. Like, unlike other animals, like, we would be able to actually understand how to, use our numbers advantage there and, like, take his back or some shit. And, yes, people are dying. Like, it's not a flawless victory. But, yeah, 100, like, fully grown, able-bodied men could take on a gorilla.
I don't know, dude. I saw this picture of It was in Africa, and I don't know. I think it was in Africa
Harambe
somewhere.
didn't kill one 6-year-old child. Okay.
I agree. Harambe was that was different. First of all,
I saw
that
the
was
best take ever. It was he was talking about the Pope thing, and it was like Harambe was talking to the kid, and he's like, "I don't have much time. They sent me back for the future. Make sure that JD fans never get." And then he like gets shot. Oh, that's a good one.
I just saw that one.
Damn, that is fucking funny. But I saw his picture online where it was like they rescued a gorilla that from the wild that had like an infection or something. They fixed it. They took it back to like this medical center, right? Dude, it took like 15 people just to carry it.
Yeah,
And it was like so much bigger than all these other people. But what I'm saying is, bro, that motherfucker's bloodlusted.
Hatch, again, another thing you're not giving us credit for. We used to do this with fucking lions, bro. You know how we beat them? We ran. I'm not even joking. This is how we beat cats in Africa. Our ancestors would run not faster. They would run farther than these animals and be able to take them down with fucking pointy sticks. Now I realize we don't have pointy sticks, but now we have 100 motherfuckers.
What do you do for it, Brando? What do you guys think?
I think you could strategically win the fight. You know what I mean?
You would have to.
You would have to it would be one of those things where you knock him down and then have like at least 20 people on each limb holding him down, and then you could like trample him to death, I guess. But like that would be it'd be like people would die 100%. You're not going 100.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm not saying that.
I think 100 able-bodied men that are like decently strong, full-grown adults probably could get the job done.
You give me the SEC,
like 100,
they're
50
winning
men,
that.
50 men, maybe 25 men. No, the gorilla's winning all day.
The gorilla is smacking 25 around.
Oh, dude.
Just give me every secondary member from the SEC. We're good. We got speed, we got size, we got quickness, all right there. We are good. That gorilla is fucked. And then, hey, you know what? Make it better. Give Ray Lewis as the leader. So you've got all the best D1 college athlete from the SEC on defense,
and a murderer.
plus Ray Lewis leading them. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're winning that fight. We're winning that fight.
Damn, dude.
Oh, bro.
What about 100 of the top paintball players? Do you think they're winning?
Hatch, these questions are always never great because this essentially is now dudes in a garage at the end of like a party.
What 10 pro teams could be the gorilla?
But what about like 10 Rangers? What if Rangers were there? Would they be okay? But what if it was SEALs now? And it's like,
well, I'm not talking about Rangers or SEAls. I'm talking
nothing.
I'm talking about specially trained paintball players.
We could have been talking about microbots.
So I think that it'll be.
I asked if we were over. I asked. Can't be mad at me.
I was gonna say it'd be almost a more fun question to be like you have to choose 10 pro teams, like 10 different pro teams. There's about 10 people ish.
The problem is we've literally asked that question before.
Oh, you have
pro players. We've made them be like, hey, you versus Silverback, who's winning?
Well, no, I remember it was one where it was like the whole pro division versus a Quetzalcoatlus.
Yes,
you know what that is?
And what is that? What's this?
Bro,
it's a demon.
It is basically a giant pterodactyl that was like double the size of a fucking giraffe.
Oh, that's terrifying. Yeah,
it's like,
it flies.
And there were legitimately NXL pro paintball players that thought they could kill that thing. The difference is that thing flies and is the size of 12 of them stacked up.
Yeah.
So like that's not that's like me saying a rhino versus 100 men.
Yeah, it's a flying
rhino kills 100 men.
Yeah, definitely not.
Dude, so that was one of those ones where when people were telling me that they would win, I'm like, you guys are fucking insane. That guy is skewering you guys on his beak on the way in, first round. You know?
Yeah, no, he's taking off at least like 10 of your ones right there in just one quick action. So now like all your 2s and 3s. Mouse is dead right away.
Mouse is done first.
Yeah.
Mouse, he's so fast, runs in first dead.
He's like,
Kyle Spica's like, oh my fucking god, Mouse! How am I gonna run Tiger Wear?
Them just like, oh my god, the humanity. Yeah. Tyler Harmon's behind them like Spider-Man. So yeah, it would just be not great.
Yeah. So, what do you think about that, Dewey? The whole bloodlust thing. Do you think those are good questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go.
Divine.
They're good questions. It's a one and done. You can't get to where we're just like, Okay, but now what if it's this amount of people? Because then it's
Well,
like,
that's
okay,
why I
now
had
we're
to keep
just-
it paintball.
we're just talking about the same
I ain't
shit.
getting it. I ain't getting it out of the pro paintball.
Yeah, well, speaking of paintball, let's get the fuck out of this horrible question. Let's talk about All That
horrible
Matters again real
question is
quick.
crazy.
Yeah, that's
So
wild.
one of the things I noticed about All That Matters, I showed it to a non-paintball player this past weekend.
Nice.
Tyler Harmon is a lunatic if you don't know that man and you just watch his section, because it's like him essentially sounding like he's on, psychedelics out in the middle of the mountains as he's like, I feel the energy and the force all around me, and it inspires me to be a better person and to be who I want to be with this game, and for the energy and the feeling and the intention. So that does put people off when they have no clue what paintball is, and that's the first thing they see from a player. But the other thing I wanted to give Miko credit for is he did a really good job with the pacing, because essentially a lot of All That Matters is, hey, here's a player, here's a little bit of their background, here's them playing paintball for 3 minutes, next player. That's kind of like the simple format. But what I like is right as that starts to get stale, right as when you're like, okay, I've seen, now we're in the mouse section, we've seen this 4 or 5 times, I understand what's going on here. Then he switches it up and goes into the Jacob and Jason part, where the brothers are like interviewing each other, and you're kind of getting something
oriented.
different there. And then right after that is the whole Yakamac section when he's talking about the family and everything.
Tearjerker.
And then,
The random person I watched, I cried.
Yeah.
and then they end it with the World Cup segment, where it's like that's about all the players involved who are there. So I really do like the pacing of All That Matters. I think it is a great tool to share the game and to kind of show people what we do in a very high quality setting. We've talked about it relentlessly on the spot, so we don't got to talk about it all that much more. But last thing, if you haven't seen All That Matters yet, just go fucking watch it. If you haven't shown All That Matters to someone yet, go do that.
It's free.
And
Watch
yeah,
it.
that's my little PSA. Yeah, it's even free now.
It's free.
You have no excuse.
No.
You don't even need to pirate it.
Nope.
Although
no.
I would
And
recommend
even
pirating it so that way you have a copy in the future.
Every paintball store I'm working at, I have it playing. Like when you walk in, it's playing.
Sick.
It's playing on the big screen.
That is so badass.
And I've had, I will say though, I've had Tyler's song stuck in my head all day. It's, I forget the name of the band, but it's a song called Turnstile.
Yep.
God, I forget the name of the band, but there's this breakdown segment where it like starts playing bongos and it's like do 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 do, and it's like Tyler and Archie in like this back on forth snap battle together. So good. It's one of my best parts. One of my favorite parts of the whole dog.
I like the Jacob
slaps
Brothers
hard.
music. That music was like fucking lit.
Well, yeah, he just went full hate.
I was hyped
Yeah,
to see Talking
definitely.
Heads in a paintball video. I was so hyped to see Talking Heads in a paintball video, bro. Like I love.
It's been a while.
Yeah, if you see my videos, I like that weird music, bro. So I was hyped, bro. Like I was hyped off of that.
I think it's one of the greatest paintball movies. Like I think it could possibly go on the Mount Rushmore, of paintballs videos.
I can't wait to see the
That's
Iron
a hard
Kids
one for me.
I
think a
that's
lot
also,
of it-
it's gonna have to.
I think that's going to be one of the best.
That's what I would say. I think All That Matters is great. I don't think it goes in the Mount Rushmore for me, and I think a lot of people would say it is at the current moment. It's recency biased.
Yeah.
I think when Iron Kids comes out, it's just a different scope. Like All That Matters, it was made over the course of about 2, maybe 2.5 years. Most of the principal filming on that took place over 1 season. I don't know budget numbers, but I'm gonna guess somewhere around probably $100,000 to $200,000. I don't know that; those aren't guarantees, but it's probably somewhere around there. Iron Kids is probably getting close to $1 million.
Wow.
Damn.
And like,
A lot of money.
again, I don't know that, but when you throw in the fact they have been doing filming for the last 3 years, Dan has been working on post production for the last 2 years. The amount of like different things they have gotten, like the amount of old footage and archival stuff they've been able to find from people, it is a massive undertaking. And I think when people see it, you'll finally see that difference in something like that. But it's one of those things you need to see to understand. It's very hard to like put that into a picture when you haven't quite seen it yet.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see it.
What's your What's
ahead,
your
Dufort,
guys'
sorry.
favorite piece of paintball media? Like your favorite, your top of the hill favorite
good-ass
paintball
question.
media.
So movie-wise, Heroes for a Day is my favorite.
Okay.
But if we're talking video-wise, I've mentioned it recently when Kwitsky was on here. We're talking about it. It's Stealth Media's The Time Capsule.
Yeah.
Because what's so cool about it is it's all footage from '08 NPPL edited on today's software with today's techniques and today's understanding, and it
so good.
It feels like you are back and being a kid again.
100%.
It doesn't stand out in today. Like when you watch some of the old MPPL videos, it's like, okay, this was filmed on a micro tape. Like you can tell, like it just feels old.
Yeah.
But when you watch the time capsule, it feels current.
Dude, yeah. The quality was insane.
Mm-hmm. But now imagine that's all of Iron Kids, because they haven't taken any shortcuts. So like same recording he did to make sure that was all in the, an HD format for being such an old, piece of footage. Like it's that on steroids, the amount of shit that Dan has been scanning and recording and it's
going to be amazing. What about you, Hatch?
Oh man, dude. Fuck. I thought that the World Cup video that Ryan put out, that was before I knew Ryan. I thought that one was sick because that was really the one that pushed me to be like, all right, like I'm gonna go up to Sacramento. Like I want to play for DMG.
Dude, I hate that video. Video's ass.
It's right. He thinks it's ass, but like to me, it's so special to me because it was like.
No, Dewey, like if you went and watched it, you'd get what I mean. It's genuinely just not technically a good video. Like it's just not like. The lighting sucks. The audio's horrible. I mean, it's a great story, and I'm glad I did it.
That's how I feel about my tryout video, that excessive tryout video. I look back at it now, and I'm like, fuck, I could have done this way better. But, like, that's kind of part of why it's special. But, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, right?
And it's one of those things that at the time you don't know that. At the time you think it's sick because that's all your knowledge is. But then the second you look back, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
One that's kind of special to me, it definitely did not have a happy ending, but like the roster with Chicago Aftershock.
Yeah.
Right? That one did not have a happy ending, right? So obviously I can kind of relate to that one more because obviously we've had the struggle in our division, right? So, and they struggled countlessly through the pro scene at that time where that pro scene back then was so strong.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And it was just very... You don't really get to see that kind of ending. Besides, like, Rebirth and some other things like that, like, I feel like you don't really see that many stories that are told like that.
No.
Because there's not many good stories where the hero doesn't win.
Exactly.
And
that's what's good.
Because honestly, as a storyteller, it is so hard to tell a story about a DMG. Because, you already know going into it, there isn't going to be that moment at the end of this where they're going to be holding a trophy, spraying champagne. So you have to have some sort of emotional conclusion, some climax that makes a viewer feel satisfied with something that is not often talked about, which is losing. And that's the reality for 19 teams at every tournament.
Yeah. That's
absolutely.
I think that's for me why, like, one of the reasons why Heroes for a Day is so special to me, at least, because I feel like Heroes for a Day is one of the very few paintball documentaries that really shows you what it's like being on a paintball team and like what it's like to struggle. You know what I mean? And then finally getting that win, like it's like that whole story arc of Heroes for a Day, bro. Is just it's money. It's perfect. It's beautiful.
That's the whole. I mean, it's the title. It came from that quote that I think Rich had, where it's like, every now and then you can be a hero to your friends.
Dude, it's
that's all Excessive won,
bro.
They didn't win a series championship. They won one event. And that's all it was.
They're heroes for a day.
Yeah. Yeah. They were able to look at their buddies and say, I did this with you guys. And that's what they gave 4 years of their life for. And if you ask any person who's on that team, they would not have changed it.
100%. It's funny to me, like, for me, like, when I work out, I 100% listen to the soundtrack to that movie. Going home, I run a mile to that. Penguins in the Desert, run a mile to that. Like, bro, like, it's such a good soundtrack, dude. But Brando, what's your favorite paintball movie documentary?
Oh man, documentary. I would have to say One Night in November.
100%.
It's a good one.
That one's a banger,
right? It ends on a highlight. The little backstory of it of them pulling guys up for the tournaments, like an underdog story, and then on top of that. What?
Sorry, Brandon, but what I love about that is you just brought up another example of a hero for a day.
Literally.
You didn't mention 15. You didn't mention like a movie about the guys who've been winning for a whole time. You talked about a story where for 58 minutes of that movie, it is heart-crushing, soul-pounding losses.
Them getting their ass beat every event leading up.
For one event,
throwing guns,
for 10 minutes of the film, they do great, and it's a legendary picture. And it's like, that really is, there is something to that. Humans like mediocrity. We say we like greatness. We don't. We get annoyed with greatness. There's a reason why when the Warriors win for 6 years in a row, everyone's like, this is fucking bullshit.
Fuck the Warriors.
We gotta nerf Steph Curry. Fuck all this. Well,
that's why people are hating on Max Verstappen right now. It's the same thing.
Exactly. But there's people at the beginning of that who were fucking cheering him on. It was like, yes, Lewis finally isn't winning. Okay, well, and when Lewis first won, they were like, yes, Sebastian finally isn't winning.
Yeah, 100%.
And then when Sebastian won, they were finally like, yes, fucking Michael Schumacher isn't winning. This happens everywhere.
No more Alonso winning.
It's this cycle that humans do where you want to love and support something until it becomes too successful, and then it almost feels like, there needs to be another change up or another switch up. And so that's why I think all those movies we just talked about, they show that moment of the scrappy underdogs finally becoming, the same level as the top guys. And there is so much that humans kind of connect to in that.
Every time Nikki Cuba cries in the documentary, it gets me, dude. Like, I have to fight back tears, like seeing Nikki Cuba crying in the corner. Like, bro, like it's cool because like that movie was like one of the first paintball documentaries to show like people give a shit about this sport. People care about this. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's cool about it, because that was the first time me as a kid going, oh, they really give a shit. Like, this is cool. Like, you know what I mean?
Maddie, like, yeah, Nikki's dying a lot, not shooting a lot of people, we're not playing such good paintball. Like, what? The dialogue in that movie is just amazing, man, because you can tell it's 20-year-old dudes. Like, there's not,
One of my favorite quotes from that movie, bro, is when they got second place at that event to Dynasty. They got second place, and they're sitting there on the podium, all pissed off. Rich is still mic'd up, and the fucking dragon comes out with the trophy, and he's like, I'm gonna punch that dragon. I'll punch that fucking dragon. He's like, I'm gonna punch that fucking dragon. One of my favorite Nikki Cuba moments, though, that wasn't in Heroes for a Day, was they were before a match with Dynasty. I think it was PSP 2006. He comes out on the field with like this foam sword, and he's all, slay the dragon, with like this foam sword.
No way,
dude! Before a PSP match, it's crazy.
That is so fucking funny.
The other part from Heroes of the Day with Nikki that I really love is like, there's some parts in that doc where Nikki is the villain. The whole time they go over and play in France, when he has that kind of breakdown, he's kind of the villain there. But then you get to that Denver event, and you see just how shitty the environment they're playing is, and how he just did not give a single fuck, and like still was giving 1,000% for the excessive guys. Like, that's where you as the audience member are like, oh, this dude is special. Like, oh, I get why these guys have him around. Like, okay, maybe he's got some problems, but like, there is a dude in there who is a gritty guy who just doesn't give a fuck about anything. And when he comes out and plays, he's damn good.
Like the scene where he's smashing the chairs and he's like, fucking second place again. Like, bro, it's like, I get goosebumps thinking about that scene, bro. It's so just,
And meanwhile, I always think about Patrick, because like, I've filmed some of those moments, and like, dude, that is so scary, because it's you need that footage. That footage is gold because it tells so much, but it's one of those things like, you don't want to piss that dude off.
100%.
Like, I thought that when DMG that Rebirth year, when they lost that game, it was a pretty close one, the Revo game. The Revo came back on them.
Yeah.
There was a moment where Dylan in the pits, Enrique has an amazing picture of it, but like, he looks despondent. Like, he looks like someone just killed his fucking dog. Like, it is this realization of the worst case scenario just happened and we don't get to play anymore on Sunday. And filming that is not fun, because like, he looks over at you and he's staring through you because he's pissed off. He doesn't want to be filmed right now. But when you look back and look at that moment in hindsight, that's where the powerful emotion comes from, of like, Oh, I as a person understand what he's feeling there. Like, you know, more than just the competitor with a mask on, I understood what Dylan Boyum felt there, and damn, all right. In fact, he was wearing this fucking jersey. This was that jersey from that event. He signed it for me. But yeah, moments like that are why I love filming Rebirth. There wasn't many highs, and even the highs that did come, like in Philadelphia, they were instantly followed by fucking crushing lows. So yeah, it taught you a lot as a filmmaker how to make something when there's not, you know, the easy storyline.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of the low, there was another video I was looking for so I could get the title right. It came out a couple years ago. Edmonton Impact, the Agony of Defeat, and it has a clip of Mouse after they lose. You know, it has black and white footage of their practice. That. Yep. And then they lose on Sunday at the tournament, whatever tournament it was, and he's going on about how he felt that not everyone was putting in the same effort in, and he's like yelling at the guys, and then blurts out like, you know, he missed his brother's funeral for this tournament, right? And it's just like you could see the emotion on his face with that, and for Mouse, I feel like, you know, he doesn't put it out. Talk about himself, very, very much, right?
That's one of the things I think Mouse does the worst. I think one of the biggest things that he does to hurt paintball is not being open. And I understand he's just not that type of guy, so it's hard to ask that from him.
Yeah,
but you're
like
the highest paid player in our sport, and so that's why
captured.
Like, I know what video you're talking about. It was on like the VHS and stuff, so it's like old school footage looking, and like you finally see this dude who's tough as stone crack, and it's like, fuck. All right, I resonate with Mouse for the first time I've ever fucking, like, since he was an Aftermath player. I've never, you know, it's hard to resonate with a guy like that who's just this tough exterior who doesn't show emotion.
Yeah.
And so yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying, bro. It's like moments like that are so good for him as a person, but he's also a type of guy, he doesn't want to show that shit because he probably is probably not the, you know, type of upbringing he came from. But and, you know, fair play to him. It's his life. He gets to do it however he wants. But I've always thought that, like, it would do a lot for paintball if the guy who was, you know, the star highest paid player was also able to put himself out there a little more.
You know, Shelda told me that. Shelda told me, he's like, dude, you know, paintball needs more vulnerability. And, you know, people don't like to show it because obviously it's a touchy subject for some people. But it's like, it's just a thing that our sport is lacking, right? Everybody has the passion, but it's like we're missing something. And it seems to be kind of that a little bit. I mean, people like Axel Godin. Like, I remember last year, not this past year's cup, but the year before that, when the Tauntauns
he's French,
came over.
Though. He doesn't count.
Valid. But he was crying. He was crying like fucking crazy, right?
Yeah, because he's French.
Where's my
and that shit was a tough ass loss for them, bro.
No, I am joking. I want to make that known because, like, I will never give Axel shit for that. Like, he cares so much about this game that when he loses, it's an emotional response for him. I can't hate a man for that. Like, you know, this is the fucking thing he sleeps and breathes for.
His reaction to losing that World Cup game, because I think Tauntauns wins that game, they're like, they might win the finals. You know,
they win the tournament.
Like,
I think they
do. I think if they win that, they win the tournament. But he was crushed, bro. Like, watching the webcast and like just seeing how crushed he was, bro. I'm just like, bro, it was heartbreaking. But like this,
and Fava came out with that documentary that it really shows a lot of it really well.
That documentary was really, really good, dude. Really good. I mean, Tauntauns have been one of my favorite teams. I love the Tauntauns, but dude, that was such a good doc.
I'll spoil this. There's a reason why Fava is the assistant editor on Iron Kids.
Nice.
So I'm just saying, like, there's a reason why Dan's so good, I need to help.
Yeah,
I bring in Fava because he's probably second best.
He knows how to tell a good story.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and Dan reached out to me for that position, and I did not take it because fucking that's a hard ass position.
Too much, yeah.
Boys, let's go ahead. Let's wrap this up. We are getting late out here, and we still got to do a post show. But before we do that, we got to have a cool guy of the week. Who is the cool guy of the week this week, Brando?
Let's see it, Brando.
Look, this is old news, but I came across it, and like That's badass. It was fucking
Look
cool.
good.
All right, so this happened back in 1990.
Oh, I've seen this.
Really?
Yes.
You've seen this? God damn.
Yes, the shit's insane.
Yeah, this happened back in
Tell the story,
1990. All right. Yeah. So it was on a British Airways flight, and they were up like 17,000 feet, and one of the panels in the cockpit blew open. Woo. And 17,000 feet, like it decompressed. The cockpit decompressed, and the captain got
sucked out of the
started to get sucked out.
Yeah. Hold it on to him, right? That one.
The flight attendant.
Yeah,
You saw this dude? God damn it. Yeah, the flight attendant grabbed him, just happened to be in there. Yeah, grabbed him by his legs, and just holding on to him for, what was it, like more than 20 minutes?
It was like 27 minutes before they landed. It was crazy. Like crazy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, like god damn. Holding on for not his life, but his captain's life for 20 minutes, going God knows how fast.
I will say this too, respect to the co-pilot, because there's probably a lot of people out there who are like, why did he fucking help pull the captain in? It's the first rule of aviation. Yeah, you fly the plane. So, okay, I can't help there. The only thing I can do is get us on the ground. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. That's really good aviation. The flight attendant, Nigel Ogden was his name. So yeah, I can't find an exact time, but he said he held on for more than 20 minutes as the co-pilot was getting them to an emergency landing. And again, that's adrenaline strength.
Dude,
that's mother
100%.
sees a car go on their baby. Like, that's fucking, I guarantee you the next week of his life, he was in a bed. Like, every muscle in his body was done after that.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine going into a bar and they're like, have you ever been close to death? And you're like, boy, let me tell you.
Boy.
Well, no, he was fine. He technically was not really close to death because they were under the O2 layer. Like, it's probably cold, but like in the cockpit, they're totally fine.
Yeah,
now the captain who's hanging out of the cockpit,
I was about to
banging his head against the fucking plane.
Yeah, that was
he's getting close to damn death.
He's looking like a fucking wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man, bro.
I think he did survive.
That's the craziest part.
Yep,
the craziest part is he survived. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like this comment where it says, "Are they still friends?"
Damn,
I wonder if they are still friends.
Fuck yeah! Someone saved your life. Oh my god,
dude.
That's why I must be so close to the Night Marchers when they saved my life. Over the edge. So I'm so close with them.
You're that's
why you're spiritual. What's the code word of the week?
Dude,
I'm gonna stop this point of discussion.
All right, here we go. Code word of the week. Check this one out. Bleed pink, boys. Bleed pink.
Yeah.
All for you, Dufort. Big voice on pink, and dude. Great to see you thriving on there. Seriously.
Appreciate it, dude.
Awesome. And I want to throw you your praise for sure because, dude, you're one of the guys that was creating videos when I first got into paintball that I was watching. So, dude, you definitely got me hooked on paintball.
I really appreciate that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Dewey, before we do our house clearing type stuff, where can people find you if they maybe haven't seen your content before?
You can see all my old stuff on YouTube, Dufort Media, Dufort Media. Same on Instagram, Dufort Media. I do have an old Facebook account that I think there's videos on there of the same name, but it's been years since I've even logged into that. So, but just Dufort Media.
You're posting more playing stuff now. You're posting. I was looking at your account before we got on.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I actually just bought one of those fun little cameras that go inside of the mask. So I have it like inside of the mask against the lens. So hopefully I'll be posting some stuff soon. I'm using it mainly to like watch back stuff and like kind of like critique myself, because like mainly having the camera in there is really good for like communication, being like, oh, I should have said this instead of this, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's mostly for that. But if I do catch something cool, heck yeah, I'll post it, But
I know I saw Matt posted a video using that camera now. So more and more people are experimenting with doing the in the lens stuff, which I think it's not, obviously the best thing would be not to have a loader in the way, but since we can't really do that, it's kind of second best at giving a very good like player point of view type perspective.
You just hear every breath you take. That's the only downside. Every single breath, bro.
Every breath you take. Are you watching, Yins?
Yeah, 100%. Okay, boys. Well, if you're new here on the podcast, or maybe you've been listening for a while and haven't done so, make sure you go ahead and rate the show. It's completely free to do so. You can do it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Please, it's like I said, it's free. Helps support us, makes us look better in the algorithm. More people are going to listen to the show, and you didn't have to pay a goddamn cent to do it. So we like free ways to support your friends. You can also subscribe on those platforms as well. Helps the algorithm. Plus, you're going to get a notification when the next show is live and ready to go. We have the Patreon as well for all of our fans who want some extra content. We got the bonus post show, which we're going to be jumping into in just a second here. But we also post the show early over there. You guys get it the second it is edited and ready to go. And then, we also have ad-free versions of the podcast, bonus content. There's a lot of cool things over on the Patreon, which is patreon.com/Mafia_Productions. Head over there and get signed up today. And then we have our 3 sponsors. Let me grab them one more time. We got Liquid IV, liquidiv.com. Promo code over there, Mafia_Moffitt, 20% off and free shipping at checkout. And then the other side, God, everything is fucking falling over here. We have NECTR Energy, because my fucking arm stand sucks. Boom. NECTR Energy, NECTR.energy. Head over there, promo code MafiaProductions, just all one word at their website. And Welts Clothing, weltsclothing.com, promo code FTS. Save yourself some money at checkout over there. All right, boys. Well, that is it for us here on the main show. We're going to get into the post show in just a second. Hope you guys join us over on the Patreon over there. And so for now, for Brando Baird, for our special guest, Michael Dufort, and for Stephen Hatch, my name has been Ryan Mafia Moffitt, and we're going to see you guys on the next one. Do that thing you do, Hatch.
Bye.
We'll see you guys later.